and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Told the spoon to get your information. Told the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Told the spoon to get your information. Told the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you.
Okay, so indeed, tune to Spoon Television, Spoon Radio. Of course, this is where you get authentic information about all the major happenings in Liberia. I'd like to say welcome to another edition of the program tonight. We're here live on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're live on Fabric 101.1 FM, and we're live on Super 95.5 FM as well. We are also live on other frequencies across the country. Wow. Okay. So, again, welcome to the program. We're also live on several frequencies across the country. And I'd like to say welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is where we get to talk about the trending national issues. We get to bring you some critical analysis here on the unfoldings in the country. And the late night show, here we have diverse views. And of course, we try to elevate the discourse, and we get to interact with the newsmakers as well. And so it's a pleasure to be here again on another edition of the program. Well, I want to say thanks to all of you who have joined us. Those of you watching via our online platforms, Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV. Those of you watching YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. And of course, it promises to be a great one. A spirited conversation here tonight. Our guest on this edition of the program is the Director General of the Liberia National Fire Service, Colonel Ellis Dixon, will be with us tonight. And we will be starting the conversation with him. And then thereafter, we'll transition to other discussions tonight as we move on with the show. So again, thanks for joining us. It's good to be here. And let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. With no time to waste, let me go across quickly and start to bring in our folks here. I see George Widow is backstage. George, thanks for joining us tonight, man. It's good to have you on.
Thanks, Nelson. It's a privilege to be here. Look forward to it tonight.
Okay, great. Let me bring in Raymond. Raymond, thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on tonight.
It's always a pleasure being here where we can discuss the issue that pertains to us and that matters most.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Mr. Jalal Sandy, now today I'm seeing your teacup clearly, and it appears to me that you're using a different webcam as well. And so I can see every single thing out there. But again, it's good to have you on tonight, Sandy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Good evening, our brother.
Let me bring in Francis.
Good morning from my end.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Francis.
good evening, good afternoon.
Yeah. It's a good thing to be here tonight. First of all, I want to encourage everyone to share the program. Kindly share the show. So we have a fascinating conversation going on tonight. Share the program. Well, lots of things happening in Liberia, and I'd like us to just kickstart the discussion. I'm going to give 1 minute quickly across the board for you guys to just talk briefly about what's on your mind. Yes, we're gonna move into the conversation detailing some of those happenings, but just in a minute, I want you guys to just talk about what's on your mind as we get set to bring our guest on tonight. So we'll start with you, Josh, and then we will move on to the rest of the team.
Oh, Nelson, thank you very much. I hope you guys can hear me clearly.
You're coming in
Uh,
very low, Josh. I
oh,
don't know what's
really?
happening.
Okay, let me see. Is it okay or not? Maybe you can
Say-
just skip.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Look, thank you, Nelson. Look, I'm very ecstatic, because the new Liberia that we are experiencing now, uh, our president-elect is giving money to legislature, to go and give it to people to celebrate. I think it's a new Liberia. We look forward to that because some of us here in Australia who cannot go to the inauguration will be expecting our own 5 grand as well, so that we can set up something here to enjoy. That's what I'm
Some of
looking
you
forward to.
cannot go to Australia.
Some of us here in Australia cannot go to Liberia for the inauguration, so we need our own, our share of the
Oh,
five
but
grand
what
as
do
well.
you need 5 grand for? What do you need 5 grand for, Josh? What do you need 5 grand for?
We need 5 grand to, buy sausages and maybe some bread
No, come on,
and fit some
Josh. Come on,
barbecue, and
come on.
while we watching inauguration on TV, we can be enjoying it, and having fun. I think that's what we need it for. Just like what the people need it for in Grand Crew and the people need it in Lofa, that's the same thing, man. It's just the different locations. That's all. But we
Wow.
rather come, but it's expensive to come now. So let him just say our small team will be here waiting for him.
Okay, thank you for joining. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's hear what's on your mind, Raymond.
I want to speak on the same issue that my brother George just spoke on. I want to commend the president elect for taking government to the people, the actual definition of decentralization, and where the Constitution speaks of all power are inherent in the people or is inherent in the people, where that we can be celebrating a national event and the people in the villages are excluded because government is seated in Monrovia and everything happens in Monrovia. That he will consider those that he had to go to and tell them, say, look, I want to be your servant. Give me an opportunity to consider them. And what better way to consider those people than through their representatives? The representatives are called representatives for a reason because they
Okay.
represent the people in government, wherein the representatives should engage with the people at all times on all matters of governance. And those views that the representatives propound in arguments at the House of Representatives are the views of the people. So, wherein the government is not seated, but this government is preparing for inauguration, what better ways to engage than the people who are on the grounds with the people, who the people just elected or and say go and serve us in government. So I want to commend the president-elect for being far-sighted, and we think if his government is going to continue like this is a new Liberia, and this is the kind of Liberia we envisages. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Raymond. Let's hear from you, Cindy.
We spent a lot of time last night debating this issue, and I don't want to, waste any of my energy on this again. If my brother Raymond think that giving physical cash to elected official is good, then I disagree with him. I don't think that's how it should be. I think
Maybe
committees are better.
the
I think
30,000 should continue. Let them
right,
keep
right.
giving them
Then no
30,000.
need for us to have
No need
beating
to
on
talk.
George
Yeah,
Weah for giving those 30,000, right?
exactly.
My issue with this whole thing, I said it last night. I don't have problem with the money. I don't think it's corruption. I just think the distribution and how it's being given is the problem. Set up committees and then do these things through committees and not through individuals. The issue of Mr. Funati Kofa passport came up today. I mean, citizenship, being a U.S. citizen came up today. Perhaps that's something we're going to discuss here
Yeah,
tonight.
we're gonna end up the show with that discussion.
Okay, so I don't want to add my pepper and salt on it right now, but yes, so I guess we can move on. I'm looking forward to a wonderful show tonight. And let me
Okay.
end it. Let me end here. Last
Okay.
night, the people in the comment section, you were fighting me. Look, we are going to be here to speak the truth. Whether the truth is against Honorable Boakai and his team, we will speak the truth. When it came to we spoke the truth, and we are here to hold this administration to their feet as well. So some of you that said we shouldn't come here, we will continue to come here. Just get used to us speaking the truth. Thank you.
Perceived
Thank
truth is not the truth.
thank you
I'm gonna
very
give
much,
that.
Sandy.
The
Let's
time will
hear
come
from
back.
you. Let's hear from you, Francis.
Yeah, just to continue from where Sandy left, I mean, I would just say one time I disagree with Raymond. And to the comment section, you guys were rejoicing when we're beating on George Weah, and we are still beating on him. But we told you we are going to be whistleblowers. Anything we see featured in this incoming government, because we do not want a semblance of George Weah government, the most incompetent government in the history of our country. We don't want that. So any little thing we see, we will a foul play, we will talk about it. So if you don't like it, then my just close your ear about it. But you bear with us. Because whatever we do here, if we give Baka a pass, for anything that looked at corruption, our people in Liberia will continue to suffer, and we don't want it. So if he made a mistake, that's why I kept beating on his advisors last night, the people around him. Even if he had good intention, the people around him, they should be advising him properly. So we keep beating on them until they do the right thing. But it's a beautiful thing for our brother Joshua to ask for 5,000 sitting in Australia. You know, I think Baka is not in office yet, but Joshua government, I put in a mansion. I put a first day right get mansions, get $1 million. So that way, say if you're happy with Baka government, the main office yet, they're talking about the thing that he not do in 2029. So that nobody will talk tired, you know. But we're telling you, we're here to speak truth to power. So if y'all want Liberia to be better, you should swallow the bitter pill too. When we speak to it, see when you're clapping for us, when we're beating a job, we are clap too. When we talk something that Joseph Burger and team are doing wrong. Thank you.
You scared of
What
saying
you
we'll
think
beat
is
you on
wrong
too.
isn't wrong. Wait until they do wrong.
Thank you very much, Francis. Let's hear from you,
Raymond,
Moba. What's
you'll
on your
be
mind?
just fine, Raymond. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you to all the panelists I was listening across Liberia and all around the world. Well, George, my brother Cindy, I would beat on JMB, like from now to tomorrow whatsoever. But let be real here, right? The whole thing we're talking about, people keep saying it's a bribery. It's not a bribery. It happened all over the world. It happened even during George Weah regime. At the time, even take serious, you're still fighting for the Senate. I mean, the I call it the Senate seat, and he paid some money. It was not free. First of all, we need that identical speaker job. So we got to do anything possible to get it. It's not a corruption. Today in America, Joe Biden find
Anything
it
also include
difficult
bribing.
today,
So you
right?
bribe too? You bribe
Joe
too?
Biden find it difficult today because of the protein they have in the house. Well, Mr. Johnson, he's stepping on everything. What are a good or a bad, he care because he want a Republican, he want a Democrat to be in power. So we don't want that in Liberia. We want our own speaker. We can remember that when Nancy Pelosi was there, when Trump was there, you saw what used to happen, right? We all follow the news. So we don't want it in Liberia. We want the Senate, I mean the protein and the president should get a one voice when it comes to the policy making, and it should be in line with our constitution and for the benefit of our people. We want somebody to come there and sit down and say, you know what? We don't want one. We don't want to. The same people who today sitting here backing at JMB will be the same people who say, well, JMB should have used it here to make sure and get somebody. And first of all, that money was not a bribery. That money was a compensation for the people who come in on an inauguration and for the people to be paid. And also, so transportation can be available for them. So when I come here and make it seem like, oh, JMB go take money somewhere and bribing people to go vote for him all the one and thing, right? JMB, first of all, the money JMB using today is not for his own pocket, right? If from the same money we put together for campaign, the remaining one that what he's using. So it's not government money. He's not even getting power yet. He's not even president yet. And we start knocking on him, say he's taking government money, he's bribing people. No. We shouldn't come there and say things like George right now, who people that work in his government, bake on the million, do all the money with government resources, and we get backing on JMB for using his own a campaign money, right? To make the right choice. for our people.
If you
Hold
can
back.
even use your
George,
campaign
George,
money
one
when you
second.
bribe somebody
To,
that crime. When you
to
bribe
make it
somebody
very
that
tough
crime,
for our people.
George,
you
it's
use
not
your
Come and
campaign
make it
bribery.
money.
seem like, look,
It's
To,
there's,
bribery.
to
Hold
give
there's
back.
people
nothing about
money
it is
to
crime,
celebrate
George.
the inauguration is not bribery.
We
Hold
Bribery
back.
shouldn't,
not
we shouldn't come make the thing
not
and say
left in
they're
in
making
your
money and
opinion.
give it to representative to go sign a bill or to go sign a bookers agreement for not in the field of the Liberian people. You're making it seem like that's what's going on. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is wrong.
But
We
you're missing
need
the
us,
point,
we
bro.
need
You're
us
missing the
a
point. You and
protest
Remo, you
that
missed
will
the point
listen
tonight,
to us.
last
We
night.
not need somebody who
You're
come
missing
and
the
when we
point,
say
bro.
they the contract, they will want to say
You're,
and step on
you're
them
not
and
a
talk and they
stand
say
up
no,
for
no, no.
corruption.
We
Not
are
what you
fighting for
think.
country. We're not
Not
fighting for
what you feel.
individual. And based on that,
Your
we will use
argument not
our
factual, it's not based
resources
on facts, it's
to
based on sentiments.
So
talk to our
all the things you
people
were talking about
and
John
make
Biatu were not
sure
factual. It was
No,
based on
what
sentiment as
factual.
well.
my
It was
man
not
are
factual.
speaking.
Your
What is
argument
difference?
based on
Well,
sentiments.
you
What is
don't
what
have
is
to hold
difference?
it. It's
John,
just
But
1
Mama, you
minute
got a OJ.
introduction. It's just
my
1 minute
man are
introduction.
speaking. I stay on the floor, my man.
No,
On
but
the
you
floor,
got
I gotta
OJ. The same
conclude.
thing.
My man, I gotta conclude. I gotta conclude, guys. I gotta conclude, my man.
What
Just
Bwaga
relax.
told the money from?
Yeah. Bwaga na cha. Bwaga na bebe. Bwaga get money. Yeah. Yaga ja fresh keme. Yaga ja fresh keme.
Oh.
Yaga fresh keme.
So just a jacket to ask Bwaga where you got the money from? How you vet it for?
Yes. And I got no right to Bwaga. Bwaga na bebe. Huh?
But now president, now
Bwaga.
anything you do, people sort of know they plane get the money from.
No.
What they may ask?
No. No. No.
Oh.
No. No. And that's supposed to be that.
How is it be?
And that's supposed to be that.
How you think it's supposed to be?
And you cannot get no right to ask Bwaga. You must give me the money account or either where you get the money from and blah 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 blah. Wow. Bwaga say where you got?
Oh. So like just for money being getting verse from.
Yes. The trouble they want from that ass more. That he made me very.
But
Who now in the country? That I tell it them.
But people can be happy when you get be saying that thing there.
Okay.
It can make the leaders there. Maybe that can won't carry one corruption. That won't be city the money.
Me, it can make me happy. That first can I tell you, you get today. That's
Look.
Tell them that money come for your too. What are you that money come for you? Yeah, man.
Not to discuss. You get
So that woman say, that woman say, the president too.
Where Bwaga told the money from?
Bwaga na cha. Bwaga na bebe. Bwaga get money. Yeah. Yaga ja fresh keme. Yaga ja fresh keme.
Oh.
Yaga fresh keme.
So just a jacket to ask Bwaga where you got the money from? How you vet it for?
Yes. And I got no right to ask Bwaga na bebe. Huh?
But now president, now anything you do, people sort of know they plane get the money from.
No.
What they may ask?
No.
Oh.
No. And that's supposed to be that.
How is it to be?
And that's supposed to be that.
How you think it's supposed to be?
And you cannot get no right to ask Bwaga. You must give me the money account or either where you get the money from and blah 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 blah. Wow. Bwaga say where you got?
Oh. So like just for money being getting verse from.
Yes. The trouble they want from that ass more. That he made me very. But who now in the country? That I tell it them.
But people can be happy when you get be saying that thing there.
Okay.
It can make the leaders there. Maybe that can won't carry one corruption. That won't be city the money.
Me, it can make me happy. That first can I tell you, you get today. And that's
That almost scare me. Oh.
I mean, I'm speaking of man, but
That John, you do that interview. It's happened to you.
Ignorance killing people in Liberia. But
Anthony, let's
Ignorance,
hear
not
Anthony.
ignorance.
Anthony, please go ahead. Yeah, 1 minute quickly.
Omar,
We're trying
Omar,
to get
why
our
is it
guest.
Josh?
Guys, please mute and let's give
Sister,
Anthony
don't
the
say-
time.
don't
to
say
do
something
Good
like
evening,
that.
everyone.
Don't say
Good
something like
evening, folks.
You are trying to provoke me.
For me, I want to start listening to, Technocrat from Liberia. The other day, we had an opportunity to listen to, Mr. Phillips from Texas. He's an energy expert, and he discussed energy in a manner that I have never heard any Liberian addressing that energy sector like the way he did. He brought it down to the simplest term for those of us who are not energy experts. He made it, very simple to the point that you cannot function in this world without, reliable source of power. Only one country that I know of in the entire West Africa that don't have the power issue, and that is the Ivory Coast. The Nigeria, the Ghana, and all the other countries, they all have power issues. But when it comes to the Ivory Coast, yes, you don't have that problem. You don't have it. And that's one of the reasons why the African Cup of Nations right now is on fire. Get your ticket, guys.
I wish I could
I'm
go
telling
back
you,
if I can.
Rwanda, in
Nelson,
all their villages, it never
I
go up.
say West Africa.
Okay, my ear,
Are
sorry.
you
I
in
don't know
West
what
I
you
Africa?
oh,
Is the
I get it. Oh,
Rwanda in
I
West
get it.
Africa?
I get it.
So
Oh, sorry.
guys,
No, you sounded like
one day
Africa
I
to
won't
me.
disagree.
we have to go
Every
on. We
day
have
you
to
won't
we have to
disagree.
move on. We
Nelson,
have to move
Nelson,
on.
yeah, Nelson, quick one. There is a guy that I've always seen on the show in the comment section. His name is Robert. This guy continues to insult. He doesn't, provide anything. He just insults people. I think there's something that needs to be done about him.
Okay. I'm deleting his comment. But let me say one thing, Josh. Josh, when you're
Yeah.
on this show, forget that comment section. Don't allow that comment section distract you.
I think
Just the
enter the
other
next
night,
verse.
just the other night, Cindy was whipped in that comment section sufficiently, and they
Here,
told him
Francis.
they told him to
Francis.
never come back on the show. The guys told Cindy and Francis to never come back
Here,
on the show.
Francis.
Shirley was beating as well in the comment. So forget the comment section.
A matter of fact, a lot of
It's
people
a
watch this
beautiful
show.
place.
They see all the
It's a
government.
beautiful place, and I think let's give the guys the time to have their own activities in the comment section as well.
And let's allow the freedom of speech and expression.
I'm telling you, man. Even though
Diverse view. Even me, right? Callers have attacked me personally, call my name, call me out, and I don't respond to them. When I respond to them,
they don't insult you. They don't insult.
Well, with strong words, not profanity.
Yeah, but
strong words.
But some people don't know how to express themselves.
But this guy I'm talking about, he doesn't provide anything substantial. Just insults. Yeah, they just insult people.
I agree with you. That platform should not be for insults.
We want people to be engaging. Say
I know,
something.
You're right,
Don't insult somebody and just leave.
But
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
I honestly
block them. That's what we can do. We can block them.
But I agree with John.
With
consistency, we should
guy
block
is
them.
consistent. Yeah. This guy,
he
says nothing.
But if the guy's gonna insult that, they get insult. Not just me.
Not just you. But not
Yeah,
everyone. I will not do anyone.
I said my opinion. I'm I mean, one for me, my own opinion.
I'm not fighting you. I'm just saying.
We no time to wait. We gotta move into the show now. We gotta move into the show. Our guest is coming now on. In fact, just as he was logging on, he had to attend to some kind of emergency. The issue about fire outbreak in our country is a serious one. And that's why it's important for us to have these kinds of discussion. It's a great thing that we have the head of the Liberian National Fire Service coming on tonight, Colonel Alex Dixon, will be with us shortly in just a couple of seconds for a brief conversation, a brief chat to talk about, this whole thing about the fire outbreak. What should the public know when it comes to, addressing these issues? What are some ways that these issues can be prevented, and a lot more he's going to talk about here tonight. So it's a great thing that he has accepted our invite to come on. So ladies and gentlemen, our viewers across the world and in radio land, online and all of that, let us now welcome the head of the Liberian National Fire Service, Colonel Alex Dixon. He has joined us tonight on the program. We want to say welcome, sir. It's good to have you on the show. You're live on the late night show on Spoon. It's good to have you, Colonel Dixon.
Thank you so much, Nelson, and thank you to your panelists. I want to say thank you for your invite. I know that we long been expecting to be on your show, but I say thank you so much for, our Washington calls have been coming for fire outbreak again tonight, right? A police at Calumet Turning Point, another fire outbreak again. So that it's just something that I know I'm going to be here for maybe 20 minutes. But thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. It's good to have you on tonight, sir. I just like us to get straight into the conversation, since in fact we don't have the luxury of time. Uh, I want you to bring us up to speed when it comes to this whole fire service, the whole issue of fire disaster in our country. Uh, and the fight against it as well. Where are we right now? uh I mean, from your institutional standpoint, where are we? How equipped is Liberia when it comes to this whole issue of fighting fire, and how frequent are these outbreaks? But maybe we can start with the first aspect, then coming to the frequency.
Okay. First of all, let me just give you some history about the Liberia National Fire Service. It was 1948, after a fire on Ken Johnson Road, where a pregnant woman died, and the late President William V. Todman went to Nigeria, brought in Liberia to establish the fire department. 1968 into law. 72 accepted as a full bureau under the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Under the Ministry of Justice. The director is to be appointed and then report to the Assistant Minister for Public Safety at the Ministry of Justice. So that's a late history about the fire department. The issue about our country today, when it comes to fire outbreaks, these are things that cannot be controlled, but it's seasonal.
Okay.
Yes, it's seasonal when it comes to the issue of the rainy and the dry season. We go through a lot of challenges. In the past, most of our fire outbreaks were caused by kennel, mosquito calls, and also charcoal after cooking and not forgetting to extinguish the entire coal. Some of our people take it and put it inside the house, like those that from this live in a zinc shop, put it inside the house. And most of our panelists down there, I know they are outside Liberia, but I think you can remember when the old man put his sand on
I can
top
relate to all of that.
Yeah, when the old man put his sand on top the coal. These are some of the things that used to cause a fire outbreak. But today, because of the increase of electricity, and then after many years not using electricity, it causing a lot of fire outbreak because we ourselves don't know how to manage current. And 100,000 population city now has increased to 1.2 million people. Where we all came from, we don't know, but we occupy most especially the capital city. And and the electricity is expanding. And how do we use electricity? Some of us haven't seen electricity constant, or haven't seen electricity before, and then it just coming, and we're using it any kind of way we feel like, and don't know how we should manage current. Maybe you have gone outside of Liberia, see how other people treat current at home. So I believe that because of the electricity today, 75% of our fire outbreak is caused by electrical shock.
Wow. So now let's talk about the frequency of these outbreaks, and maybe if you have some pieces of information with respect to maybe data as where's affected areas, you could talk about that. But how frequent is this whole thing about fire outbreak in Liberia, as per maybe information you have uh so far?
Okay, when we talk about community in Liberia, for the rural areas, not too many fire outbreak comes from the rural side. Maybe you will have about 15 cases outside of Monrovia, outside of Maserati. But 75% of our cases come from the capital city. And when we're talking about a fire prompt community, you will be talking about the Sinker Belt. You talk about Bushra Island, where you have to come from Corway, Douala, Point Four, Claratown, Slipway, West Point, Nuku Town, and you also go in the Pinsville area.
Okay.
Yeah, these are communities where you find, and when I talk about Cinco, you talk about Oro, and
Okay.
let's say the resident of the resident of these areas. So let's say 60% of them are using illegal current. From our
Okay.
statistics, yeah, 60% of them are using illegal current. So most of them, some of the horses, another thing, some of the horses were wired 20 years ago,
Okay.
30 years ago. So
Wow.
rewiring homes, people are not doing it again.
Wow. So
Yeah.
like how often do you get these reports? What are the frequency of fire outbreaks in okay, so maybe in a week time, approximately how many reports of outbreaks do you get on average?
Okay, like I just came back on a Sunday. Sunday I came back from the States. But then while in the States, it was the time the Tango fire
Yeah.
or explosion of that Tango occurred. But since I came back Sunday, there
Hmm.
was fire Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even now, Saturday morning, Friday. So there was since Monday or since I entered the city on Sunday, it been a fire. Every
Wow.
night there's a fire outbreak. And you're talking about not even one, we're talking about 2, 3 cases a night.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it means that on the average in a week time we're talking about more than 7 fire outbreaks. Is
Oh
that the
no,
case?
let's say maybe in a week time we might have roughly about four cases in a week time. 4 cases. But for this particular beginning of the year, it's
Mhm.
something that is very serious. But let's say in a week time, so now we have 4 cases at times in a week time. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Casualty in terms of casualty, how you say like human lives and all of that.
Yeah, we have lots of lives in some of the fire outbreaks. The last night fire, we had a lady and her daughter pass, die in the fire. And let's say a week before, we have 5 persons dying in the fire, a pregnant woman and a Chinese resident, a Chinese that live here too from the scene of Douala point 4N. So sometime in a year, maybe we'll have about 20 to 25 deaths
Wow.
from a
Okay,
fire
so
outbreak.
I'm gonna give it up to the panelists to come in with the question dish. Then we can start from Cindy. Then we'll take Anthony and just go by the queue.
Okay. Okay.
Well, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Dixon, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I know there are challenges in Liberia when it comes to the fire service. Can you explain to us what are your biggest challenge for your department? Is it budgetary or is it policy related? What would be your biggest challenge when it comes to the fire service?
So one of our biggest challenges has to do with road connectivity. That one biggest challenge has to do with road connectivity due to the size of fire engine that we do have in our country, navigating in communities, looking at our communities, having not good roads. And number two, also it has to do with budget. We run a very, very, very low budget, it's true. When it comes to the issue of budgetary allocation for the fire department, that has been, let's say, generation something. So it's just logistical wise, we cannot explain all, but I think we have improved a little when it comes to that.
Okay. I mean, budget. What would you say your budget is now? And if there's an issue at this moment, what would you say would be a good budget for the fire service department of Liberia to address the issue that you are talking about? It seems to be very severe in the country.
Yeah, looking at how our budget is prepared in Liberia, uh, the institution don't determine their budget. The budget is prepared by the Ministry of Finance and sent over to the fire department. or to any other institution, and then
They determine.
you now will work with. They determine what you work with when it comes to budgetary allocation to institutions. So sometimes what you see is what you work with.
All right, thank you. I know
Anthony,
we are playing
quick
tennis.
question.
Hey, I feel your pain and I feel your disappointment, but you don't want to express that. That's fine because you're a professional. But let me get to the point. When you come on Spoon Network, many Liberians listen to Spoon, watch Spoon. Tell us as is. This is not politics. This is human life. Every human life matters in Liberia. Even the one that they gave name, Zogo, were created by God as well. So if you're a Christian and you profess Jesus Christ as a personal Lord and Savior, then that man you call Zogo life also is as important as the president of the Republic of Liberia. Having said that, I visited Oro and I was disappointed. I'm a technocrat and safety is number one. The way the zoning is in Oro, I'm picking Oro as a case study, create a serious challenge and it's a hazardous condition because when one fire starts, multiple houses will be ablaze because of the condition. The zoning is bad. Another thing I want to recommend here is that empower community dwellers so they can educate, because what I see right now also with the fire issue is public awareness. Nobody who knows about petroleum product will stand on the tanker when the engine is running. One drop of that product will unite a fire, period. So what I'm looking at, even though you have budgetary issues, awareness has to be something that you guys have to carry out. I know your logistical issue part is the biggest one because you don't have the rightful equipment to fight the fire to begin with. And the last thing here, I'm not going to ask you a question because I done some research before coming on in the show, is that the problem you guys face as well is because you can't get to the places that you want to get to even fight the fire. And then the way the houses are built with the gates, iron bar is also a prison by itself. So that iron gate is also a serious danger. When you touch it, when the fire is already on, you touch it, you're going to burn. So how do you come out? So all you guys need to do now is to teach the people how to prevent fire first and foremost. Things that you have to do before the fire. Prevention is better than cure, right?
Anthony, do you have a question?
So I want
do
to
you
end
have a
on this
question?
sector because I don't want to take all of your time. I did my research. I know you are short-handed in the easiest way to put it. You are short-handed. You come to the US, you see how equipped the fire department is. You go back to Liberia, you're like, oh my God. I know you say that all the time. So I don't want to give you a hard time, but tell us, so maybe some Liberian got money. They can help that department. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dixon, for being here. I mean, my brother Cindy, I think Anthony mentioned, but you did not answer the question. I'm not sure if you're not comfortable saying it, but part of my question, what was the budget for this last fiscal year in numbers? If you can just give a rough estimate, your budget. That should be public information, but I don't have it. But can you tell the Liberia what was the budget for the Liberia Fire Department?
Our total budgets were around about $2.2 million.
And that's for the entire country?
For the entire country, for the 15 counties, which I would say for the 15 states.
Okay, so my question to you here is, as a fire department, when I'm not even going to the private sector, right? But when government are constructing buildings or facilities and things like that, is the department consulted when they are building, making new buildings or new construction? If yes, what are some of the buildings, facilities that were constructed under your leadership? What were your recommendations and were they followed?
Thank you so much. The issue of construction, these are things that we put forth for people to understand that in construction, the fire department should be informed. And through the zoning law and also the fire prevention code. What happened is this: whenever the document is taken to the Ministry of Public Works, the next direction from the Ministry of Public Works should come directly to the Labrador National Fire Service. But from the Ministry of Public Works, there's no more document that comes to the Labrador National Fire Service to review any plan that is made. But then when construction starts, then the neighbor will call and say, oh, but somebody is building in the alley, somebody is blocking my view. And we tell Public Works, our concern is not the person that is constructing. Our concern is the person that he met there while constructing. What is the safety for that person? Because he has already come to the front of this entire land. So he's blocking someone else's view. So how do you rescue someone in case of emergency? But this is a serious issue. It's something that needs to be addressed.
But I'm talking about like the physical buildings, right? The physical building when they're being constructed, like government facility. Do they consult you for like your plan? I know people build their own thing in, but when government building, they don't tell you, oh, can give us a fire plan or inspection for this building. They just build.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so Raymond, go ahead. Let's hear you. You are muted, Raymond. Can you unmute?
Before I go ahead with let me give some clarity. Every architect is trained with fire safety. That's an information that every architect has. So fire awareness and safety, once you've gone into the proper school of training, you have it. So Public Works don't have it as a procedure to consult the fire department for fire safety. And I don't know the act that created the fire department, but I don't think they have that authority. But what is required is for the fire department to give a fire safety permit for usage by law. You guys are supposed to inspect every new building, and even while the building is functional, you can shut down and close down the building for fire hazard. So you have that authority. I don't know whether you're using it. But for new construction, there are people at Public Works who train and are architects who can do that on your behalf. Because the fire code is a universal code. Yeah. So let me go into my question. You provided information for us, but you didn't give us specific data. So my specific question, the world over, poor communities, low-income communities have high risks of fire issues. And now that you serve this as the boss, what has been your strategy to mitigate? Because you stressed the problems, but you have not given us your strategy going forward. What is it that you're going to do to save lives, to save properties? What can you do with the $2.something million budget that you have to mitigate? What are your strategies? And besides, what is the data that you have? What is the casualty for fire in Liberia over a year annually? And the past 3 to 5 years, what has it been? Is it upward? Is it downward? What are the issues?
Okay. Thank you again. On the issue of the budget, when we speak of the budget is into different components. And sometimes maybe we might hear that this is so point days, and maybe this point days is what is used as operations. But no, out of the 1 million budget that be allocated, out of that you have about 1.2 that is for basic salary alone. So at times you are left with maybe 1 million. And out of that 1 million, the fire department do not have her own building. She pay rent, operational funds, fuel and lubricant, So the issue of awareness is what we mostly focus when it comes to the fire department on minimizing fire outbreak into community, most especially in slum communities. So we started a process called the volunteer firefighter into communities.
Mr. Director, I don't want to cut you. I'm sorry, but there's a SOS call. That there's a fire going on right now.
That is something that he attended to before coming on.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought this is new.
No.
I addressed that already. Okay, so we started the issue of having the volunteer firefighter into communities that are going to serve as first responder because of the issue when it comes to the issue of logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we go into a community, carry on awareness, have 1 or 2 person or maybe 4 or 5 guys that we can bring at the station, train you in case, just give you somebody brushing up, that in case there's a fire outbreak, this is what you should do. This is where you should begin from before the truck can pick up. Because you got a fire truck, maybe there's a fire all the way in Corway. There's no fire station in Corway. So you're having a fire station maybe at Ashmore Street that most of you guys know about. From Ashmore Street to Corway, we got the issue of traffic. And how long do it take for someone to die in a fire? So we go through all that, seeing how best we can manage these things, but it is something that is giving us tough time due to rural connectivity, due to stations being open to save life and properties.
Wow.
When it comes to the issue of death or casualty, this year, from that of last year, our statistics for last year, we had a total number of 165 cases for last year. 165 cases. We had 20 deaths. In the 165 cases, you had Maserati, as I said, taking almost 75% of the fire outbreak. The death rate, we had about 4 from Nima County. We had 2 from Maryland, and the rest of the 15 came from the capital city. So that was for last year. And then we're beginning this year now. We're just beginning this year. We're roughly going to 7 deaths now.
Are you
So,
excluding the okay. So go ahead.
So, Mr. Director, as a follow-up,
Yeah.
what is your strategy to mitigate this? Because, when we define a problem, we have to have solution. And that's what the fire department is for, to serve as a remedy. What is your strategy going forward?
Our strategy going forward, looking at now, election is just over, and we are putting a plan together because we are in transitional period now. Transitional period. And during the time of transitional period, we don't know yet what's going to happen after the 22nd, which of course we are going to be turning over after the 22nd. Everybody has just been preparing transitional note, turning over notes.
Okay.
So so the strategy for 2024
it's been working.
that is not coming to place yet because everybody is preparing to turn over and also leave office on the 22nd.
Okay. So now let's hear from
It is different. The fire chief is appointed by the president.
Okay, I got it. I thought he was appointed by assistant minister. I mean, the minister of the
the minister of justice. No, not he's appointed.
I thought he was a civil servant.
No. This is what we've been doing for the past 6 years. We've been working on a reform.
Well, Mr. Director, this is just a low recommendation, right?
Yeah.
The poverty in India is harsher than Liberia. And I was in India. I can tell you that the fire department goes into slum community where they don't have fire truck, and they teach them strategy how to combat fire with other tools that's not using fire trucks. So I think if Liberia can adapt to kind of strategy, because we're not going to have enough fire trucks.
We're gonna end up on that note, Raymond. But let me get this. George, you'll be next. You're gonna come in to ask your one or two questions, and then we move to mobile quickly. Yeah. So just come in before I say what I want to say.
Thank you, Nelson, and thank you, Mr. Dixon, for coming in. My name is
Thank
George,
you.
and I'm glad to talk to you today. Before I
Yes.
start, I just want to say, can you guys
George,
hear
you
me,
low.
please?
You coming low.
Wow,
You got
I'm not low today. I just want to say that Raymond Mayer really started in Revelation when he said the poverty rate in India is harsher than the one we got in Liberia. I'm surprised, but we'll get to that later on. What my question here is has to do with two things. But the first one will be, what is your reaction time, considering all the difficulties you've got? What is your reaction time?
Okay. The issue of a response time. The response time when it comes to the fire department, it has to do with location. That's one. Number two, it also got to do with road connectivity. It has to do with traffic. Look at the size of our road and look at the congestion of vehicles. Look at the keke, motorbikes. For Africa, for what I observe, for Africa, when it comes to serene is not respected. Serene is really not respected, because you can hear the serene to where you are, George, in Australia, and you hear the serene, you know where Raymond is. Whether in the US, when you hear the serene, he knows what he should be doing.
You leave the road altogether. You leave the road.
Yeah, he knows what he should be doing. So we were going through that, and later on we started using a system a guy brought called Man Watchman, that has to do with GPS, and then so for last year, let's say 60% of our response were done in 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
From his report, because we told him to help us. He got a system that if you come to Liberia, he asks for Man Watchman. This guy, he got a phone, and then he set it in every truck. So through that, we started monitoring our truck's movement.
The reaction time or the response time.
Trying to know the time of the truck and the response time, and when you come back. So there are a lot of things that we go through when it comes to the issue of emergency call, receiving calls, and to respond on time.
Okay, so my second question will be a quick one. Do you have a dedicated phone line or a call center at your headquarters that receives call and transfer them or whatever? Is that something that you do?
Yes, we do. We do have an emergency line that is 114, and we have two emergency lines that the public used to call. And from there, the other dispatcher, receive the call, dispatch it to the various stations.
Okay, just the last one. So there was a fire at the finance ministry recently. Was that investigated, and what was the outcome?
The fire at finance ministry, yes, we were there, because finance ministry is about 2 minutes from the Ashmore Street fire station, which of course the truck, the engine got there on time. The fire was investigated. Yes, it was just being careless and leaving appliances on, electrical shock that led to the fire outbreak.
Okay. Look, thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all for me.
Yeah. So mobile coming quickly.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Disney, how you doing?
Yeah, great mobile.
Yeah. How many fire stations y'all get in the entire 15 counties?
Okay, we have firefighters in the 15 counties.
Like, is a substation, or it just like
No, he said fighters. Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me.
No, I understand what you mean. Firefighter. I mean, like the way Ashmore Street looking, right?
Yeah,
the one in Ashmore Street.
Yeah, so we do have firefighters in 15 counties, and when we got one fire station with a fire engine, Grand Bassa County, in Buchanan City itself, And the rest of the 4 fire stations, they are in Morado County.
All right. My next question will be, how many fire trucks?
So does that, sorry, Moba, so does that mean that we have 5 fire stations across the country?
Yeah, 5 fire operational stations.
Across the country.
Yeah,
So
across the country.
1 in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, and the 4 are in Montreal County.
Yes.
Okay. Moba, go ahead, sir.
All right. So like for Nima, Grandula, Sano, you don't have no fire station over there?
We really don't have fire stations, but we have firemen. Firefighters are there.
Okay.
And we have offices. We have offices there.
So how many trucks you guys operating the entire country with? How many fire trucks?
For now, we are operating with 5 fire engines.
Okay. So it means that each of the stations has one fire engine or one fire truck. Okay. Now, for the benefit of those watching the show or listening to the radio right now, in the case where there's a fire outbreak and maybe there are some difficulties with respect to getting the Liberia National Fire Service to get on the scene, what is the best way to try to contain the fire or fight fire? I mean, what are some of the best methods you think that ordinary people should apply while they try to address the issue, or while they wait on you to get on the scene?
Okay, so what we tell people in the various communities, when there's a fire outbreak, the first thing you do, you leave your house. That's the first thing. But I think my brothers that are there from the Western world, they know that they will leave the house. But for us here, the houses are not in show. So sometimes people die from the fire because why? They want to save their property. They want to save their home to see whether they can start to manage from somewhere because the homes are not in show. But when there's a fire or there's an alarm, everybody leave the house. And when you leave the house, you don't go back.
Wow, you don't go back at all, regardless of what the possessions are in that home?
No, it just happened recently. In Corwell, the old lady died with her grandchildren. They left the house. And then she found out that I think one of the grandchild was in the house. She ran in to save the child. Yes, it's good to go and save the person. She got in there. At the end of the day, she left there with the grandchild. They both died.
Wow.
When you leave the house, what do you do? In the community, look at the class of fire that is there. Maybe you have your gas stove on. And when the gas stove is on, it means that it has to do with gas. So what do? You can pour water on the gas. So what do? If you have a clean tassel, it has acid in it. You mix that clean tassel with the water, it becomes chemical right away. You apply it on either the cooking stove or whatsoever that is on that has to do with electrical. Apply it on it, it's going to help you to extinguish a fire or to reduce it until we can get on the scene.
So in the simplest way, you're saying that if we have issues of outbreak, we should, let me put it out Liberian way. We're going to put tassel in the water, we shake it, we make sure that water foaming, and that water is what we should use on the electronic appliances instead of just using the ordinary water and just spill it on. Okay.
Exactly that way. Because what we use to fight fire when it comes to, because the fire engine has 2 compartments. You got the water, pure water, not mixed, and we have the foam compartment. And that foam compartment is mixed with a foam, a chemical that is brought, mix it to fight electrical fire, to fight let's say gas, fuel. Yeah.
So Nelson, can I ask a question?
Yeah, okay, a quick one, and then we.
Mr. Fire Buzz, what's the cost for a fire extinguisher in Liberia? And why is not a requirement for homes to own fire extinguisher in Liberia?
Thank you so much, Raymond. You know, we want to bless God for our country. This is Liberia. And Raymond, I know you've been here, you work here before. We used to see at times, but I tell you, this is Liberia. Thank you. The issue of extinguisher being to homes, Raymond, we have done everything to see how best people can have it. But it is in the law that people should have extinguishers in their homes. But at the same time, you will have, Raymond, it's just hard to say. We will try our best and to make sure that these things happen. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, Francis, I see your hand up. We have to
Yeah,
wrap
just a
up.
quick one. Also,
And,
just to follow up on Raymond, what about even smoke detectors? Are they available? And what would be the average cost of a smoke detector in Liberia? And I know you didn't answer Raymond's question about the cost of a fire extinguisher.
The cost of some of the extinguishers, the importers, they bring the extinguisher. I wrote the Ministry of Commerce that not every extinguisher is used on every climate because it seems they are all toxic. So before extinguisher comes to Liberia, the fire department should be informed. The importers, the extinguisher should be brought and tested through the same Ministry of Commerce that do have that the testing machine to do that. Then we can do that. Then from there we will know how much you'll be charging for an extinguisher. But I tell you, extinguisher you got from $35, $25, $18. And I think the least should be $15. They have up to $250, $700. Like those ones that I use at the airport, factory. So these are the prices for extinguisher.
What
But we're
smoke
trying
detector?
to talk. Yes, smoke detector. We do. They do have smoke detectors in the stores. They got some for $20 and
okay.
$15. Yeah, they do have some for 20, some for 15, some 35. Everything just got to do with people
Yeah.
supporting
So
people to
what?
do something.
Okay, so the last quick question from my end, and because we have to transition, we have to wrap this up. A lot of time you talk to people with respect to this whole fire outbreak thing, they always mention how when there's an outbreak, the Liberia National Fire Service is called. They will go there, watch the scene, observe the scene, and then go back to fill the tanks before coming to fight the fire. And in the process, there are loss of lives, properties get damaged. How true is this statement? And if so, uh, why does it happen that way?
This is so funny. It's like somebody going to class and leaving his pen and copy book at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that. But no truck. People will always say they say, but they haven't seen it yet to confirm it that this is happening or the thing happened right before me. But because of the lack of hydrants, we had a fire at the Ministry of Transport. I was there from 7 to 11, almost 6 hours combating the fire. But you check all around, there's no hydrant.
Wow.
So
where's the hydrant? What is the hydrant for the sake of those listening?
The hydrant is built on the street to assist the fire department for refilling in case there's a fire. And you at a closer end where there's a hydrant, you go to refill your fire truck. So we had a fire on red transport. A water tanker came with almost 7,000 gallons. That tanker helped us throughout the combating of the fire. If that truck had left, somebody would see the fire truck going. But he just coming on the fire scene. Not those that were there when the truck arrived. But because he just coming on the scene and he sees the truck going to fish market to go and refill. Check from Carey Street or from Benson Street to fish market. Check that distance for refilling. To go and refill. Right away, he'll tell the people, oh, I was there, the fire service people. They just go there, they turn your truck. Who do they say they're going for water? They never carry water. No water in the truck. So people just have this mindset that a fire truck go on the fire scene. You know, it looks so bad. When the fire is on for 6 hours, the truck is going to beat for 6 hours.
Wow.
6 hours the truck will beat for. So you can carry a truck to go and spy. You say, I can't see the fire. Then you turn the truck around, look at the field that you have burned to go there and see the fire. I agree that way back, we're hearing something like that. The people used to do that because why? They wanted to know the kind of fire because they had only one tank.
Exactly.
Then they would come back to the fire station and say, oh, that LDC put on fire. So you let put something in the water, then we go. Yeah, so I think, but nothing like that happening. Yeah, nothing like that.
Even if that was the case, it would be more efficient to send somebody on motorbike to assess and make a call back than to send a fire truck.
Imagine somebody going on motorbike to
check.
But we'll take the last two questions for Colonel Ellis Gibson, Ellis Dixon. You know, we caught him. We told him that we're going for 20 minutes, but I think it's past 20 minutes now. So let's take the last two questions. So we can
so Mr. Dixon.
You're not recognized. You want to joke like that?
Let's have Cindy to
the Olaf.
Yeah, Cindy, go ahead.
Colonel, thank you again for coming. You recognize my good friends at Manwash, man. Thank you for recognizing them. I know what they do, and I'm glad that they are supporting your department.
Thank you so much.
I'm also aware that there is some constraint when it comes to their operation with you guys. You know, and that's why I asked about some of the challenges you have in the budgetary. But I'm happy that they are supporting, helping you guys and the entire country. Now, what, from your own analysis, based on what you have done in Liberia, what do you think will be, how can we solve this fire, issue? Do you think having fire station in each district, right now we don't even have it in most of the counties. But will you say that, let's say Central Liberia, Mosorani, one district, one fire station? Do you think that's going to be your suggestion if you should probably talk to the incoming administration?
Okay, thank you. The issue about fire stations is important, but prevention is better.
Okay.
Prevention is better. When I took over 2018, the first thing I did, I wrote the 15 counties caucus. Invite me to a meeting because I know what happened in the US. Invite me to a meeting. Let's see how best. If a county can provide even 50 to 75,000, I can get back to the US, get a use engine for every county, for the capital, just for the capital. There's a fire now this evening in Nima County. There was a fire in Nima County this evening in Ganto City. The fastest developing capital now, apart from Maserati. There's no fire engine. And you have a power pool also in Ganto City. No fire engine. The pool uses electricity 24/7, no fire engine in Ganto. I spoke to them. Every county caucus, let us have a meeting. What is the concern? The people voted for you. I think their safety should be paramount. Nobody called me for the past 6 years. Nobody invited me. Mr. Director, what do you mean? What can we do for the safety of our people? Nobody called me. I wrote all government ministries. We enter Ministry of Transport. Sometimes we just got to say certain things. We enter Ministry of Transport. One fire extinguisher is not there. One.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
And somebody might get vexed with Ellis Dixon tomorrow morning or tonight, but
let it get very. You're speaking
They
the
were
truth.
they were balanced. They will be
But
okay.
Alex,
That's it.
I'm
You
calling
gotta
Alex.
because people refuse to comply, think that you are more than this institution. But today, when something ready to happen, the first thing somebody will call, why is the fire department is not here on this time or at this time? But forgetting to know what you should be doing first. Safety has to do with you yourself first before we
Safety
come in.
begins with you.
Next thing, can I have one question, please?
Yes, that's it.
Squeeze,
But I
squeeze
see,
your one
So
question.
friends, they hand
uh,
up. So,
the issue of having stations in the 15th, in the 17th district, yes, it's important, but spend on prevention, spend on education, put the money in prevention.
All right, I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Friends, I want to ask my question.
Colonel Dickinson, Colonel Dixon, but all right,
Yeah.
you said you took over in 2018, and you made all this outreach that nobody responded to in the entire government. Did you, for the safety of our people that are dying in the dozens every year, couldn't you have come out or even publicly call out the administration for not providing basic safety, fire safety for our people? Publicly. Because people are dying. I know you had your position in 2018, but people are dying. Did it ever occur to you that I can't continue to run a department that doesn't get $2.2 million? That's nothing for our country, not let alone a city, $2.2 million. And they did not even reach out to you after you reached out to them. For the safety of the people, couldn't you have come out publicly and call out the government?
I've been on so many talk shows, and we've been talking about the safety of the people. We've been speaking. Even the journalists have been helping a lot. And one thing I want to say thank you to the Liberian journalists. They've been helping a lot to make sure that the people are safe.
All right, let me just ask my last question. If you are opportune or given an opportunity to serve in this coming government, along with anybody who coming in as in the fire department, what are some of your recommendations you will bring to the table?
No,
For
but
better?
let's get this right. He's the head of the Liberian National Fire Service.
I know
All
that
right?
I said. But it again in. Let me ask a question.
No,
first.
no. When you say along with somebody coming in the fire department, that's why I try to provide. That's
Oh,
where I
okay.
come
No, but
from.
probably it won't work
He's
along
the
with him
director
now.
general of the.
Probably as a
Okay,
boss or
but go
maybe.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what are some of your recommendations you think or you would make?
But
I think for
sorry for the interruption, Nelson. He said that his position is an appointed position. He made it clear.
Certainly.
Okay.
So Mobile, your question is what would be his what recommendation?
what would be some of his recommendations to the president or whosoever, right? That will be able to bring in funding to be able to stabilize the country when it comes to the fire department, like prevent our people from let's say house burning, people dying in fire and stuff, or to reduce the fire outbreak in the country.
Mobile, just as I said previously, that the issue of awareness, the issue of prevention is important. If we want to make sure we do these things, we're going to save lives.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
let me end.
Thank
with
you,
a-
sir. Thank you.
with a stick.
And folks, we are pressed for time. We don't want to keep our guests up that long. So we'll have to go. He's been up throughout, just to make it up with this interview. And I've been telling him the folks are expecting you, and so he had to be here. So
Nelson, it's a
we
20-second comment.
At least
But
Waka can get it. The 5,000, the 5,000, 5,000, which is
look,
36,
look, we are about to get
360,000 a
into the
day.
political discussion. Don't rush
Yeah,
this
Well,
thing, George.
no,
Take your time.
Josh,
$360,000.
so
No,
You can
this
give it
is
George,
to the
take
Tony.
fire
your time.
Explain
department.
Just
that.
it's a
This is
20
Evidence.
about
second
safety.
comment. It's a
This is
20
I
about
second
want
safety
comment.
evidence.
now.
I say
Okay,
so
yeah,
then.
yeah.
On
You,
a
you, you,
Dixon,
you, you yeah.
I've
You will
been in
make.
government. I know the challenges. I know the politicians run the government and not the technocrats. I know the politicians
Exactly.
don't listen to the technocrats. I know that for a fact. So let me thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you very
And
much.
I know that even if you're not in the position, you're still a Liberian. Your heart is still with Liberia. Thank you
Sure.
for especially coming on the show today and creating awareness and giving some explanation to our people and to even us. Thank you.
Thank you
So,
very
so,
much.
so, if
Thank you,
someone
sir.
listening now were to come in, maybe someone listening uh, who has the heart and wants to come in, and maybe the person decides that, okay, how can I be of a help to the Liberian National Fire Service? What are some of the areas that I can come in? How do people? How do you think people can come in? Where are some of the areas? Is it equipment for the firefighters? Is it the chemicals? I mean, what are some of the different areas you think people can come in? That the Liberian National Fire Service urgently in need of help in some of those areas.
Nelson, I think I think if I'm not mistaken, that some of the guys watched the fire at transport, and you saw the firefighters.
Yeah.
Somebody will go in with a PPE, come out, and maybe the next person will take another take the PPE the guy just wore, and then had to go back in. And you saw it came a time that we were out of oxygen tank, which is the SCBA, we're out of them. The breathing apparatus, everything was done. So that when we are talking about seeing how best we can assist the fire department, we are in need of PPEs,
Wow.
helmet,
Okay.
the SCBA, which is the breathing apparatus, the oxygen tank.
Wow.
We can call fire. We can call for fire truck, because one of the things we're trying to put into place, and in case of anything, is that reducing the size of trucks that we are using in Liberia. When we want to make an appeal, we ask where they can get a smaller fire engine. That we go this time, you want an engine that can enter West Point, engine that can go into Slipway, something that can go into Nuku Town, Clara Town. Because at the end of the day, when there's a fire in West Point, we're only going to stop. I think we know LEC. LEC area. Yeah.
Yeah.
The size of the truck. So it must stop around there. And the longer the hooves, the lesser the force.
Wow.
Yeah. So for now, we are appealing. If anybody can help the fire department with PPEs, we got a president for the international fire chiefs in the United States will be coming down for the inauguration. We have been talking with him, and then he's coming for the inauguration by the name of John Butler. I'm hoping that you people will host him. Maybe while he's dead, I will try to see if you can host him next week.
I was just looking at it not too long. I want to ask you a question on the bar. It just came
Yeah.
to my mind. Yeah.
He's John Butler. But
yeah, John Butler.
yeah, John Butler. He's
2019, he donate fire truck to Liberia, right?
He was part of those that came 2013, and they brought a fire.
I mean 19, because while we're looking at it, said 19 he came and he donated some fire trucks.
No, he brought equipment. He brought the equipment.
Okay.
So that he's the president of the International Fire Chief Association of the Americas. But the blessed thing about it, he was 12 years old when he left from Liberia, 1980.
Oh, wow.
He's a Liberian. That's the blessed thing. See how far Liberian. He's the first black to be a fire chief.
Let me see.
Be a fire chief in Fairfax County, Virginia.
That's awesome. That's good to know. But this is a recommendation I was thinking.
Yeah, Rima.
Yeah, having small fire trucks and having water tanker to accompany them in these small communities.
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Colonel Dixon, for being here
Thank you
tonight.
so
We
much for
appreciate
joining
you
us.
for killing your sleep, for taking up your time to be here. We sincerely appreciate. We hope you can gather the energy to wake up early. After being here at about 3 a.m. this morning. Yeah, but we appreciate you a whole lot. Anything you want to say in closing, just before we let you go?
No, I just appreciate you guys, man, because of to keep you guys up every night, my man. Doing this thing, it takes energy, it takes love, it takes the passion for people to talk for them. Nobody can just go and put their life on the line for somebody. This is why to be a fireman is not a career, but it's a calling. Because once who go for a career, work for the salary. But a fireman works, whether he takes pay or not, there's a house that is on fire. He goes in that house to save that family. He gave his life for others. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, sir. We appreciate you. Okay. Well, folks, that's Colonel Alex Dixon of the Liberia National Fire Service there. Of course, you listen to him. Uh, guys, I think we can move on now with the few minutes we have left. Well, we have about 30 minutes to go. But what do you think? Let's hear from you quickly. Cindy, did he make the case tonight for the Liberia National Fire Service and all of that?
I mean, yes, I would say so. I can see some holding back, and I respect that. I mean, he's still on the job, and not everything a man knows can be disclosed. So I can see some holding back, but I think to a larger extent, he provided the information we needed to hear. And I mean, he also gave his expertise. So I will score this brother maybe 85% tonight, excluding some of the information that perhaps he could have provided to us that he was holding back.
Okay. Francis, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, man, but for me, I'm not a mathematician, but I like raw numbers. And thank God I was able to make a follow up to Sandy's question to get the budget. A whole country of over 5 million people, the annual budget for the fire department is $2.2 million. $2.2 million. Then salary alone take up $1.2 million. We left with probably 800,000, if my math is right, or a little over 800,000.
1 million. 1 million.
I mean, 1 million, rather. Thank you. 1 million. They're paying rent.
Man, I'm bad, man.
Yeah, but thank you. But they're paying rent out of that 1 million. They have 5 trucks in the entire country, 4 in Monserrado. Remember, there's no centralized Monrovia. Liberia is not Monrovia. 1 in Bassa, 4 in Monserrado. What about the other 13 counties? You got firefighters, no trucks in the other 13 counties, and people living there. You see, this is bad. But we got people that take $15,000. We talk about bring a pay, especially the legislature are supposed to pass law and approve this bill. And you talk about finance department that will tell the fire department how much they should receive for their annual budget, as opposed to asking the fire department, what do you need? Even if they gave you $20 million budget, say, you know what? Let's slash it down to 10 or stuff like that. But you tell us that I will give you this. Then they pocket the rest of the money and they give to the BB fat cats in the legislature.
Thank you. Raymond, let's hear you. What do you think on this?
So I've worked in government. As a response, the normal functioning of government, the finance ministry don't determine the budget for everybody. But the final analysis they determine, because you will send a proposed budget to the Ministry of Finance, and based on the revenue generation, they will say what is allotted to you in terms of stuff. But I don't know how the CDC government ran. So, but again, you raise a very valid point, Francis. An entire country cannot be running on $2.2 million budget for the fight serious issue like fire. But what I heard from him, and let me rate him, he spoke well. And I work in government. Technicians work for politicians. And politicians' interest is vote and not in good governance. I know that for a fight, especially in Liberia. So some of the revelation he gave, where he wrote people and said, look, this is a serious issue in your various counties. They didn't see that to be the issue of the voters. They wanted to build
Thank you.
schools. They wanted to build roads because they think that's what the voters will consider
Thank you.
development. So that's the issue of being a technocrat in this kind of government. But I
Thank you,
think he
Raymond.
did well, and we should applaud him for coming here and speaking to the people.
George, let's hear you. What's your take?
Look, thank you, Nelson. I think tonight was a good one. I think, the brother was, very professional. Because as a professional, you you are guided by certain, walls, you know what I mean, that you got to, confines that you have to, operate within. I think it was great. But just something to my brother here, Francis. We can be very belligerent in what we say, and we can say $2.2 million is small and this and that. But look at the whole national budget. The whole national budget is 600 million. 600 million is just we use it to build a road here where I live. 600 million. It's not a lot of money. So if you get 600 million and then what on the whole country, why will you take more money to put it into? You got to start, prioritizing now. You got to look at, okay, like even your house budget. If you look at it, you say, I want to get, $300. Then you say, okay, maybe I need another pair of shoes, or maybe I need that waste of money to buy a mineral water to drink. I'll drink the water from the well. You see it? So you start to prioritize how these decisions are made. So
How
Thank about
about
you.
this,
We
your
just hope that
senators and ministers cut their pay?
yeah, we just hope that a politician like my brother said, Raymond, will make the necessary changes and decision not to take $5,000 and give it to each lawmaker to go and celebrate.
Thank
At least they can take that one and give it to the firefighters. That for example, for them to save lives, than to go and enjoy. I think what they should be doing is that maybe televise is the thing central in every region. Spend that money to televise that thing there so that people can watch the program as it goes on. Than to go and give people money and do
Thank
what
you.
the people are not coming
Thank
there.
you,
So why are
George.
you spending
George,
the money for?
thank you.
I
To
thought that
privilege.
George Weah should be doing that. How Boaka would do that when he's not even president yet.
But yeah, let me come in
No, they're
and
giving him the
take.
money. They're giving him the money. They say $650,000 going to him.
No,
Ain't going to
guys,
George Weah.
let's conclude on this one. You guys shouldn't jump the gun.
Yeah.
Let's hear you, Mova.
What about
But
going to say the same thing? So
yeah, now CD, I coming to you. Why the men are even government they ain't talking about the men test
my man, they're
5,000
giving the man our
people.
money.
You get no
Six
problem with
hundred
that.
fifty thousand
John
Let
dollars.
Mama,
government to
speak
take money
freely.
and put it to the fire department. It is to be the budget, not part of the budget. So forget it. You got to worry about that one. The one that's so worry you, right? When the government take when he in government and take government money and start distributing to people to pass Booker agreement that the way George Weah did, that wants to worry you. So that pulled out the rest. No, the fire, Mr. Dixon, the man spoke well. Yeah, although you are holding something back, we understand he want to put a government, he want to say some things, that people will look at him by, but end of the day, he was professional, and I think he tried his best and
Thank you.
answer all our questions. Like for example, I want to, do some follow up, like maybe, like my brother Raymond did, come up with some suggestions so he can be able to work on it for it. Maybe probably the next coming government can include him in the government. At least he'll be of great help because he's been serving that era, and I think he just need more funding.
Thank you.
More funding and awareness. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there, folks. We woke up yesterday. We were talking about this whole 5K thing. Today,
I'll go back to that money again.
the lawmaker cleared the air on it, and that is done. But we woke up to another news, and this is something that is big, very important. The race for the speakership is on. We're just a couple of days to the election for the speakership. The legislators, the representatives will be deciding who becomes the speaker of the 55th legislature on Monday. Why this is happening? Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, the Deputy Speaker of the Republic, let me sound like Pastor Raymond Small, the Republic of Liberia. He has come under the microscope. And of course, this time around, not just for the other issues that people have been throwing at him, but on the issues of the law, legality, his citizenship, his passport is out in the public. It has been published in several local dailies, indicating that he is an American citizen. And on the backdrop of this, the law has surfaced. People are going through the laws and reading it from all angles. Well, they they amended law on this whole dual citizenship thing. Says it clearly. I don't want to be the one to read this thing out. Maybe Sandy should read it out for us. Sandy, can you see this thing? Maybe
clear us.
Is it clear at your end? Can you see what I'm seeing on the screen here?
I see it very clearly.
Okay, sir. Let's hear you. Let's hear you read this thing for our public.
Limitations on dual citizenship. According to Article 4 of the amendment law, Liberians who hold dual citizenship will be ineligible to hold any elected public office. And any such person interested in holding an elected public office must renounce the citizenship of the other country at least 1 year before making an application to the National Election Commission to be a candidate. In addition, a Liberian citizen who holds citizenship of another country is ineligible for appointment as Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Minister of Defense, and Executive Director of the Central Bank of Liberia.
Well, this is where we are, folks. That's Sandy ready. Now let me read it. But this is important, and this is the sticky area. This is the sticky part of this whole thing. The race for the speakership has turned out to be more of a CDC and a unity party thing. It has taken us back a bit to the just ended crucial election where it was between the unity party and the CDC. Well, on one side, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa is the man in the room for the CDC. Well, the CDC wants the speakership. Well, okay, since we could not get the presidency, we could not get the vice presidency, the pro tempore position, from all indications, what we're seeing, the signs on the wall is pointing towards Councillor, Madam Yomi Kanga Lawrence. Okay, so let's get the speakership. And let's go for the deputy speaker position. And Representative Richard Kuhn, on the other hand, is the man in the room for the Unity Party. He's saying that, look, Ambassador Buckeye is saying that in order for my leadership to be powerful, to be successful, and for Liberia to see rapid development under a Unity Party administration, we need the speakership. At the 11th hour, when Councillor Fonati Kofa has played his card, Representative Richard Kuhn has played his card, President George Weah has played his card, Ambassador Baga has tried to play his card as well. At the 11th hour, with just 2 days to the conduct of the election for the speakership, boom. The next thing we see in the air is the American passport of Councillor Fonati Kofa. Or let me say it this way as a media person. What is believed to be an American passport belonging to Councillor Fonati Kofa, the deputy speaker. And according to what Raymond just read, not Raymond, Sandy, you saw it there. Holding an American passport, being an American citizen, automatically, according to what is written in the black and white, disqualifies this man. And there are other sides of the argument now that people are running with and so forth. But let's make a quick round on this one because time is not much on our side. Let's start from Francis. From Francis, we're gonna take Josh, and then we take Raymond, and then we take Amoba.
Yeah, guys. I mean, this was a crazy day, and for me, I always like to go with if it is true, because right now this allegation. I know my brother George don't like to hear if it is true. He always like to speak as though he was in the room when decisions are being made. But for me, until final decision come out, I say if it is true. If it is true that he does have a U.S. passport. He did not renounce his citizenship before running Liberia. Then that's an issue because he was one of the signatories to that amendment. So they said, be careful what you wish for. So if it is true, we have a problem. But then the Liberian people did not even care about this law when they voted him into office anyway to become a representative. Then they made him deputy speaker. You see, so there's an issue, and this case shouldn't even take long in the Supreme Court. It shouldn't take long.
But what do you make of this whole thing, Francis? This is happening at the 11th hour in the first place. That is the very first thing to register here before going to the other aspects. Yeah, why do you think the guys waited this long? Because this law was passed in July 2022.
Yes, but this is critical, right?
These people knew they went for election in 2023 from July to July 2022, July 2023. That's 1 year. These people knew they went to election. They voted this man. Why are they coming up with this thing just 2 days to the conduct of the election?
But you see, that's why even when you really be a lawmaker, you should try to read some of these amendments and these laws that the people are passing. The person that ran against it, I don't even know who ran against it. He won re-election, correct? The person that ran against it should have taken him to court right after he was announced the winner anyway, if they knew about this. But the Unity Party was focusing on the bigger picture, right? Winning the presidency. Then one thing at a time. So now when the president comes to speakership, they say, we want the speakership. We all want Richard Coon to be the speaker. So now, since he's not willing to play ball, step aside, let's do whatever we can do legally. That's why, for me, I have a problem with what the president-elect tried to do by giving out $5,000. But this, I support. Take it to the court, get him out of the way, and let's get that speakership and pass bills work for the Liberian people.
Now, let's go to Sandy, then we're going to come to George. Sandy, do you see the possibility of Councillor Fonati Kofa escaping this thing so easily? Well, considering the 11th hour, his quest for the speakership, has his hope been dashed in the mud and trampled upon based on what we're seeing now?
The Unity Party is wasting their time on this thing.
Okay.
This is a waste of time.
Thank you.
Don't unmute, Josh. Please, don't touch that. Don't touch that.
They know very well that this is going nowhere. Now, we just read the law that will have prevented him in the first place from running for the House of Representatives if he is a U.S. citizen. They did not prevent him, right? Now, at the last minute, they think they can question his citizenship, and that will prevent him from becoming Speaker of the House. But here is the thing, Nelson. We have conflicted laws in the country. We have laws in our constitution that say, oh, once a Liberian, always a Liberian, right? So, additionally, and I agree with Fagon, I listened to Fagon today, there is a law in the U.S., the Privacy Act and American Citizen Services. It's called the 7 FAM 060 that prevents the United States, legally from disclosing who is or is not a citizen of the United States to another foreign country. Okay. This is not the first time we are seeing this. Helen Johnson Sirleaf, she's an American citizen. We argue, they came to the US said we are not entitled to disclosing that to you. So who's going to be the judge in this case? You're going to have to run to the American and say, is Fonati Kofa a U.S. citizen? If they don't give you that information, how can you know that the man is a U.S. citizen or not? Not because you see the passport with him, that passport may not be authenticated. So this is a waste of time.
Do you think he's going to easily escape this thing here?
They may well escape this thing. It's a delay tactic, Nelson. It's a delay tactic. And I think this is a very terrible way the Unity Party is taking this. They are so desperate for this speaker. I mean, we want it. We want it. I support the platform of Ome Bwaka. We need this. But let us fight this man based on his ideas. This man, to me, he's defeated already, right? I believe Kong is going to win this. But the route we are taking now, the Unity Party is taking now, that's not okay. Now we're giving $5,000 to lawmakers, and now we are jumping on this man's citizenship.
No,
Last minute of time.
we discussed that 5,000 issue line there. We finish with it. The
Let me talk about
lawmaker
when you return your
Nathaniel
own.
Bawe say, we finish with that discussion. But listen, Sandy, at the 11th hour. Okay, so let's assume Councillor Fonanti Kofa decides to go to court, right? He goes to court, and the entire process, the whole legal process, it drags. Okay, maybe you're not going to court tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. They already Saturday here in Liberia. So let's agree he goes to court on Monday. The very Monday he's going to court is the election day. So is he going to be in court while the election is going on at the Capitol? Is he going to be denied based on what is already up on him? On what basis are his colleagues or the leadership there? On what basis are they going to, in the first place, deny him from contesting? Is it just because there's something up? Okay, so let's assume he's going to court. I mean, I'm trying to find a way around this thing here. That possibility of Councillor Kofa escaping this thing.
So Nelson, and I help me here if I'm wrong on this one. The Supreme Court has not called this man yet. The Supreme Court has not halted anything, correct? The Unity Party filed a lawsuit. Is that what I'm hearing? And there is nothing, nothing has come from the Supreme Court or from any court to stop this man from running on Monday. If we do not get a letter between now until Monday, the man will still continue.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, legally he will still continue.
Okay, let's go you there, Raymond.
No, I'm not Raymond. I'm Fano than Raymond. Fano than Raymond.
Yeah. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there, Cindy. Josh, let's hear from you quickly. Amy, welcome to the show. Josh, what's
I agree with you, Cindy.
Josh, can you unmute?
You muted me, so I wanted you to unmute me.
Okay, go ahead now. You are muted.
All right, so guys,
King
I
George.
think this is a desperate attempt by the UP. These people won this election with the skin of their teeth, a very thin margin. They are struggling to even form a government.
Team margin, Josh.
That is a team margin considering the population that we got. It's a very team margin, very team margin. And guess what? The same thing we used to do, like small children, when you know say you're not able to man, they can wait for him to sleep, then you blow him. Now what United Party doing? They cannot be CDC, so they want to pass General and go and
you call over 20,000 a team margin in the simple majority.
That's a team margin.
What the money for?
What baby? What get money? Yeah, you got Jeff Fresco, man. You got Jeff Fresco, man. You got Fresco.
So just have a jacket to ask Waka where you got the money from.
No, sorry.
No, see, you always take my time about doing this.
No,
You
but
always
go
take my
ahead,
time.
Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
All right. So the thing is that these guys are desperate. They know they cannot win fairly, so they are playing all the dirty games to win this thing. And guess what? It will be a flunky. And here's why I'm telling you, I'm not a legal practitioner, but I know exactly what I know, and I know that that's what's going to happen. And the good thing is that Fonanti himself is a seasoned lawyer. He knows exactly what he's doing. Let me tell you, laws are not retroactive. They will not say, we made a law now. Nobody can kill anybody now. Then they say, well, you killed somebody 2 years ago, so we'll come and put you in jail. No, it doesn't happen like that.
It was held after the passage of the law.
Yeah, but Nelson, the man is still a lawmaker. And guess what? Once you're a lawmaker, your legal right to become a speaker is there. It cannot be removed by anything. Watch it. Look at it technically. Once the man is still a lawmaker, if the law was going to be able to affect him, or going to affect him to take him from the house because he's a dual citizen, right? But because he's still a representative, his right as a representative cannot be removed by that law. You see it? So it's just a wasted time. These guys are desperate. They don't know what to do. They're just running head to scatter. And it's not going to happen. Let me tell you, for example, here in Australia, in 2021, more than 5 senators resigned because they had dual nationality. But guess what? The reason they resigned is because the law was there, and they knew full well that the laws were there, and they still went and contested and won. Now, when people fight against them, almost some of them 2-3 years in their time, they got removed.
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
no,
I'm listening to
but
your
Josh,
question.
again, similar to what you're saying, this
Mhm.
law was there before the 2023 election. Will you
No,
agree with
no.
that?
Okay, Nelson,
Will you
here's the
agree with
thing.
that? No, no,
Yeah, the law was there.
but let's zero
Yeah, the
in on
law
this.
was there.
Let's
Yeah,
zero
the
in on
law
this.
was there in 2023.
If we
Yeah,
say
but
laws
guess
are
what?
not retroactive, yeah, for the
Yeah.
sake of our simple people down there, it means
Mhm.
any male or in a position, and they say
Mhm.
anybody, nobody should get in a position until they do X, Y, Z. If
Yeah.
that man are in that position before they pass that law, then that law not apply to that man.
Yeah.
Laws are not retroactive. But if the man
Yeah.
are not in that position and they pass that law, the thing the man is supposed to do before getting to that position, that in that law, it apply to the man. So the law was
Yeah,
passed
but
in July 2022.
yeah,
2023
it
election
was.
was held. The very
Yeah,
speaker,
Nelson.
deputy speaker, signed to this law. They read the law. They saw all different aspects of it. And then Josh is saying that laws are not retroactive.
And now he
How
applied for a new
argue?
position. He applied for a new position. That also make a
Yeah, but
difference.
yeah, it's a thing, Nelson. Currently,
Yeah,
we know that he is a lawmaker, right?
yeah. Mhm,
Okay. So if you want to file anything against him to say,
mhm.
uh, whatever you want to file, it should be that he should be removed as a representative, right? Because you are not filing for him to not become a speaker. It doesn't make any sense. What you're trying to do is to remove him as a representative. Objection number two, Grand Creek County. That cannot happen because he has already been a representative. Because guess what? Let me tell you, if you read that, because for my own, because law is reasoning. My own reasoning, United Party is not fighting against him and say, oh, the man is a dual citizen, so he cannot be a speaker. No, they are not saying that. What they are saying is that he cannot be representative because he is he's a dual national. So that means you want to remove him as a representative, and that is not going to be possible. He has
No,
already been.
George, finally, then we move to Francis. Francis is next, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Francis is next. Do
No,
oh,
Francis is already
Nancy?
gone.
Okay, so
No.
it's going to be
That
Raymond
was the
next. Okay,
first.
it's going
We
to be
talk about
Raymond
Raymond.
next. So, do you think Senator Representative Kofa
I
beat
don't
the
see
system
time, George.
to get to where he is? Do you really think, judging from everything we're seeing here, did he beat the system to get to where he is, knowing fully well
No, he
that there's
didn't.
law on the book, and then he did this, and he knew that he signed onto it, and he knew what he was getting into. In fact, do you even think he beat the system to be a deputy speaker?
I don't think so, Nelson. I think when he ran to become a representative, there was no such law as dual
Okay, let's
national
come
or
to the
anything. Yeah.
2023 running.
The 2023, look, we don't know. And that's the ambiguity here because we don't know whether this guy denounced his citizenship of America. What we don't even know whether he is a citizen. There's
But
no
the
facts.
last passport
The
got
passport can be
expired.
something somebody can just make up. I think I sent Jerome passport in the chat room there, and somebody
Where
said
you
the
get
fake
that
one.
passport from?
But the passport
Where
that are
you get
flying
some
around.
Photoshop passport and did it? But let's hear from
Exactly. So that tells you
Raymond.
that people can fake those things. So there's no facts here. So they are just
Raymond,
fighting losing battle. I don't care with sleeping cell will be here. So you just continue.
My
You waiting
brother
for 2020
George,
now.
my
you get war room now.
my brother George
We don't
made
get
my
what.
Now,
talking
Prophet, keep
points so
mouth that war
easy
room.
with his lazy assertions.
I know, Raymond.
And he even fights that he provided defeated his own argument that in a developed country like Australia, the laws could be used to remove people from power. And the law says anything that isn't done according to the law doesn't recognize it as being done.
Mm.
So if Fanatic Kofa election to be a representative is illegal, he's not a representative. Not because the people cast ballot for him, not because NEC has certificated him. The justice system can undo that because it's not even done. And the laws that were made by Fanatic Kofa and the likes. So he signed on to this law. And you rightly say laws are not retroactive. But let me share with you because I served as zoning person before. If there's a gas station when a zoning district is being defined, and prior to that zoning district being defined, and a gas station is not allowed in that zoning district, and a gas station is built, that gas station is allowed because the laws are not retroactive. but you can modify the gas station.
So
Anytime you attempt to modify the gas station, the
Raymond,
current law will
Raymond,
stand, and you will
Raymond,
remove that gas station from that location.
Raymond, is there any escape route here from this entire thing?
So there's no escape route. The fight that you made it clear, Nelson, with your assertions.
No,
Kofa,
I was just quoting.
yeah, me, and I'm using your points that the
Anymore.
questions that you asked to Josh. The fact that he was a representative, his tenure have come to an end. He's going to be installed in office to start a new tenure. And the question that the United Party have questioned his legality as representative to even run for the speakership is that is going to be questioned based on the new tenure, not the old tenure. And the timing is right. Right?
The timing is
Why?
right.
Of course. Who choose?
And that is another interesting point, Raymond. All of those lawmakers, even the Unity Party that's raising the issue now, these people knew that there's such a law, and they knew that this man is an American citizen. They didn't get to raise the issue. Okay, 3 months to the speakership election, they didn't raise the issue. 2 months of the election, they didn't raise the issue. 1 month, they didn't raise the issue. 1 week, they didn't raise the issue. Now we have 2 days. 2 days. And they're raising this issue.
So I'm going to speak a language that my brother Josh understands because we are both engineers. When you have an engineering conflict through project, the first thing you do is arbitration, where people talk, use engineering laws and the contract. When that fails,
Josh said he understands that thing you're talking.
No, Josh understands it.
No, Josh said that one not true. It doesn't apply.
When that fails, before you go to court.
They're not good English.
So, in these things, the old man Joseph Yima Barker called Fanatic Kofa said, "My man can't negotiate." He said, "I'm doing it." Wait here, I get it. I'm going to get it, Papa. I need you. So he said, "Oh, And in Liberia, we can tell ourselves, don't run to court. When you and your friend have an argument, you'll call an elder to try to resolve that money you're going to spend in court and time, you could do it right on a palaver hut. But when the man say he's not coming to the elder can say, "My man, go sue my hina inside again." Now, what United Party did, they first try to say, "Look, my man, the government here for order. Or you like sit down, let me resolve the thing." Fanatic Kofa said, "I'm not listening, Papi. I mean."
Wow.
So they say you say you may, we know what it meant to be small ball and what we do.
Thank you.
And my brother Sandy, to your answer, Fanatic Kofa court document is public information. And in that court document, Fanatic Kofa is an American citizen. And the court documents are legal papers. You can't question the legality of a court document.
Where he admitted that he is an American citizen.
No, when you go to court, the identity is defined. Who the individual is. Your nationality is all defined in a court record.
And that's where I'm coming from. But I mean, let's hear your take on this. I see you in serious disagreement with Raymond. And I know
that Raymond, I'm not in disagreement with Raymond. I was clapping for Raymond.
That was when I let her see me anywhere. So you're disagree with.
Are you in disagreement with George?
Yes.
Yes.
He said that Unity Party won with what?
With the skin of their teeth.
My brother.
Yeah.
1-0 that win. Okay.
No, we agree. Why still team?
So 25,000. You call that team? We won. Okay. The election is over.
My sister, let me interject. My sister, she will allow me. And that number, that was your manipulated number, not the true number.
Thank you.
So you want to tell me, say the election was not free and fair? All the things the Europeans say, all the things the Americans say, it's not fair.
Why your speaker in quote? Why your speaker in quote? The true definition of your stuff ballot.
So since we won, no wahala.
You don't even know why they made quote. You don't even know it. Anyway, Emmy, I'll give you a time, yeah? Before President can choke me, yeah. I don't want President can choke my name. So I'll just give it a time, so.
Go ahead.
If you cheat me and you won, then I'll have a problem. But if you cheat me and I still win, no problem. You can keep it. Since I won, that's all I wanted. So, yeah, Fanatic Kofa know what he knows what he was getting into. Like my brother George said, These people in Australia resigned because they know the law was there, and then they went and had hands. And Fonazzi know the law was there because he signed onto it. He should have argued that law and said no, it's not good. And knowing that he was a American, Liberian, whatever, he had a U.S. citizenship. He should have argued that law, but he didn't. He signed onto it. He has to bring this law.
Let's go back a little. Let's go back a little. The law was passed in 2022, July. So prior to that time, if the passport, the copy of the passport that's being circulated and published on several news websites is something to go by, then it means that even during the time that this law was being argued, this law was being carried from different states to another. They were voting upon it and doing this and that. At that time, Councillor Fonati Kofa, if everything that is out there is something to go by, then it means that by that time he was already an American citizen, knowing fully well that he's an American citizen, but he was still in the business of affixing his signature under his watch as deputy speaker, supporting a law that prohibits someone with dual nationality from occupying a position which he was occupying at the time. All right.
Well, maybe because he probably thought, oh, I'm already in this position, so I don't care. Or he was thinking that, oh, I can beat the system like they always do. So that's what, because after that, he turned in 2023. He still went ahead and ran for a representative, knowing that he affixed his signature to that law that he was not allowed to. But what? Liberia is Liberia. Everybody take Liberia to be a big joke. They go ahead and do whatever they want to do because they know they can beat the system or whatever. So that's what he did. He knew. But these people that are running against him, they didn't take him to court. It wasn't the United Party something to do that. But now that they are affected by it,
and that's the next point. That's the next area my question is coming from. Is it fair? Is it fair on the part of the United Party to be running to court at this time, knowing fully well that this law was being violated yesterday? They didn't raise the issue, but now that they're affected, they're raising the issue. Is this in any way a display of patriotism, love for country, wanting to see that the laws are respected, or is it being driven by what I can get at the moment?
Nelson, everybody was focused on their elections. During these elections, everybody was focused on their election, on their district, on their whatever places they were running.
Yeah,
it was up to these people that are running against Fonati Kofa to go to the court and have him removed from off the ballot or whatever. It wasn't a party responsibility to do that. The party, I don't know if United Party had a candidate in that area or not, but the party responsibility was they were taking care of that responsibility. Now that they are being fixed with him, and he's on the ballot that they are on, and this speaker is a big deal. United Party needs this. Waka needs this. So
okay.
Why?
I want you to talk to you as whatever, and you trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. I'll use whatever I got at my disposal, and this is it. Bravo to United Party. And I don't know what my brother Cindy saying that it's not something. I think it's a damn good deal. I think that bravo. They are fighting. They are fighting their butt off, and I enjoyed it. Okay.
Even if 5,000 did not work.
What's wrong with the 5,000 George? Let's talk about that.
It did not work. That's what I mean. That's why you're applying the new one now, because the 5,000 was
What do you mean
display.
5,000 does not work? 5,000 works.
They want for the lawmakers.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, you can call potato potatoes too.
Guys,
You can call potato potatoes.
I'm surprised that your bribery detective working now, because it didn't work for the past 6 years. Now it's working. So this is why you don't have any more.
And George says your bribery detective is not working at this time.
You don't. People that spoke on their land for the last 6 years, they are the one. If they're questioning this, I will give it to them because they have that moral right to do so.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I mean, Moba, just take us to the phone lines quickly.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. You see, the Constitution make it clear, right? When you look at the whole guideline of that Constitution they wrote, the voted upon, right? That certain position you can hold. So part of that position, and when you are the Senate pro, guess what? You are the chairman, command, you can be president anytime.
When you're speaker.
So, I mean, the speaker, rather. When you are the speaker, right, you are the chairman. You are the chairman in the country, you can be president anytime. So based on that, if you look at the law, right? So I think that people go by the law should be the law. You know, that they gotta go through the the court process and see. I just feeling somehow my brother Cindy, who I know very well, he understand the law, and he's saying he on for nothing over
Cindy, I
side.
never professed to be a lawyer
Yeah,
on this
like
platform.
Yeah,
the man,
I don't know where you
no,
come
the
from.
man talking about transparency, right?
I
No,
said
but
it
But
help.
what
Yeah,
Cindy
that's
say
Senate
he's
law.
a help worker.
I say he's telling
All
law,
right.
right? But the like it's glaring. We all can see it much better when we come to the Constitution part, right? It's
Moba,
glaring. Everybody can see it,
when Cindy,
right?
no, okay, let that
No,
fresh.
but
When
Cindy,
Cindy told
Cindy,
you,
Cindy,
when Cindy
Cindy,
told you that
Cindy.
you know law on the platform.
Yeah, versed with the
No,
law.
Sandy, right? Is glaring. Sandy,
Man, Sandy
we
know
all
everything.
understand the
Sandy can
Constitution,
even
right?
pretend it.
We
Sandy
all
know
should
everything.
go by the Constitution. And guess what? Like identical paper, they all signed. He knew very well he was citizen. I mean, he was a citizen for the United States. Why he signed on that paper? And he should be the one who, and so to be advocating against that identical bill, so he can be able to mobilize people. But guess what? He was the same president. Signature went there and went to the president. So honestly, nothing that ever go to the court, the court system and see how bad
Okay. Just a
we
quick
can see.
1 minute. Just a
All in
quick
all,
30 seconds.
I want for Nadi Kovado, even go around and speak shit. To be frank, yeah, I want that
Just a
case.
quick 30 seconds. Just a
Uh-huh.
quick 30 seconds. Let me start with Raymond. Is this a good law from your
It is a.
own?
Is it a good law? Because Cindy,
Is it a good law?
yeah,
It's not. No.
it is, and I will tell you why it is.
Okay, let's
Right?
say just 30 seconds, Raymond. Just 30 seconds.
History has shown that people have been running a country and being loyal to another country and interested in another country. Liberia is a striving country, poverty stricken, and the likes. So anyone who wants to serve Liberia has to be devoted. And you can't be devoted when your loyalty is split. Liberia could be in war with another country. And if you are in major position and your loyalty is with another country divided against Liberia, where's your loyalty going to? So to
Thank you.
safeguard our national interest,
Thank
all
you.
those, the law says, if you want, you should relinquish your other
Yeah,
nationality
one
a
of the
year
national.
before. So everybody have an
Let's
option.
let's hear from Cindy quickly because we're going to the line. Cindy, quickly, just 20 seconds or so. Is this a good law? This law from your own evaluation of everything you see.
To some extent, it is a good law. I agree with Raymond. Certain position must be only given to Liberian that have only Liberian citizenship. Now, where I disagree with that law is elected position. I don't think for the House of Representatives, for the Senate, those elected positions should be only limited to people with just Liberian nationality or just the Liberia. I think dual citizens should also be allowed to contest those positions. So that's where I disagree. We live in America where you see people from anywhere can go and serve in Congress. You can come from Liberia and serve in Congress. You can come from China and serve in Congress. That diversity helps to build America.
Thank you very much. Let's leave there, Raymond. Francis, quickly. I mean, we're going to come
Stop
to you.
calling me
Francis,
Raymond. I keep telling you. I'm still telling
sorry.
Raymond, please.
Raymond
Yeah,
looks
bro,
Nigerian anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've stood in the barber shop before and argued with folks that left the U.S. and working in group homes and running to Liberia to become a representative, and they started paying their bills in the U.S. It upset me a lot because a lot of them went back with no good intention for the country. I just didn't like it. But I mean, a Liberian citizen, be it dual or not, should be able to run for elected office. You just cannot be president or vice president. But that's just not a good law when it comes to this. But since it's there now, it should be interpreted the way it is.
not sense is there from your own reading of it, from your own
No,
perspective.
it's not a good law. It's not a good law. But because
Why
of
you
the
think it's
CDC,
not a
they
good law?
got no brains to pass anything.
Okay. Wow. Or was it CDC that passed the law?
Yeah,
Or was it the
2022.
law?
They were doing that regime.
They amended the law 2022.
Princess,
That-
the level you taking it to.
you
Joey,
know,
I got nothing out here.
no, but you know something, Nelson. Let me
Let's
confess.
no.
That's one of the laws I applauded George Weah for.
Okay, thank
That's
you,
one of the good things I think George
Josh.
Weah
Let's
did.
hear you. Is this a good law or not, Josh?
We don't care whether you applaud us or not. Look, Nelson, this is not a good law, and here is why.
And your
Look,
government passed the law. It was passed under the CDC
yes.
government. And
Look,
He
I
has
know
that rule. He did it.
And
Dillon
new
was the
evidence
one.
they don't need.
Oh,
And
no, guys, I'm coming. It means that, no, Josh, it means that your government passed a bad law, a very terrible, evil, wicked law that is now hunting a deputy speaker that should be representing your interest at the legislature. Is that what you're saying, Josh?
Nelson, and I'm not going to answer yes or no to this question because I got to elaborate. But here's the thing. That law was terrible. And when that law was passed, I wrote the president not to sign it. I don't know whether my letter reached or not, but
Your
what I
president
heard
did not
him
listen to
say,
you.
what I heard him say was that let's hold this one. We'll get a better one. Time to come. Since it's what we can get now, let's hold on to it because before that law was passed, you could not even contest. You could not even contest. That's why it was like. But now you can be appointed in some positions, not certain positions. So he said,
But
since this one is halfway, let's take it and let's wait. We'll get a better one.
If before that
But
law
yes,
was
why I think it's bad. Yes, why I think it's bad, Nelson.
No, I'm coming. Before you get to that point, if
Okay.
before that law was amended, you could not even contest. Have you asked the question as to why then did Councillor Fonati Kofa contest? How did he contest?
Josh Weah contested too.
Ellie Judges contested too as well. But look, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
No, Judge, look at your camera. You're not looking in the camera. Yeah.
Okay, look. That would make me to believe. That would make me to believe. That would make me to believe that. Then, of course, as a lawyer, he knew that he was not dual citizen. That's why he went ahead.
Josh, again, let me go back.
Yeah, there's no evidence to substantiate the claim that he is actually an American citizen currently. So maybe he denounced his citizenship when he left America.
Do you have the document?
Okay. No, let's leave that. Yeah. So
okay,
why
so Nelson, let me just tell you why. Okay, look. There's always your nativity, right? Where you come from, the place you were born. The love you can have for the place you were born, you will never have it for anywhere around the world. You can go there and enjoy the immunity of God. Yeah, I'm enjoying this fresh air, air condition blowing me, everything. But I will not love this country equal to Liberia. And for anyone to think that because you will be disloyal to your country where your neighbor stream is buried for another country so you can hold certain position, I think it's erroneous.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we
George.
shouldn't be believing that. Because nobody would hate Liberia and love America because they enjoy America. No.
Francis just provided you evidence.
Francis
just provided you evidence.
Equally people who were born here.
That lala evidence there.
They are equally people who were born here in Liberia. They left this country, and someone else sent they left from here. They say, if you ever catch my phone in Liberia, George, maybe you know some people like that. They say, if you ever catch my phone in Liberia, I get nothing to do with Liberia again. So how do we reconcile that?
Let me confess. One guy, I think you might know him. He used to be a musician in Liberia there. That call me. They met him to Australia. The man, when they asked the man, say, when you going back Liberia, I said, what they call Liberia? But guess what? Myself, the same thing happened to me. When I first traveled overseas, I said, why go for the Liberia? I've been there 2 hours my whole life. But guess what? After 10 years, I said, what? If I go LRB then, something will happen to me. I had to look for all the money I could to go there. Because that's where my neighbor stream was buried. That's where my mother was born. My dad was born. So there's nothing that's going to keep me away from that country. And the love I get for that country, no other country will ever get it from me. And that's what it is. I'm not saying this because I want public office. No.
Where do you stand
I
on
know
this
the truth, George. That George, we are carrying you back to Liberia.
I mean,
I
where do you stand on this law?
The guy.
the law. I partially agree with George,
Oh, you
and
agree with Josh for the first time today?
partially because
Okay.
that's what I was also thinking. I mean, I think it's good that there is a law
Mhm.
that say we can be Liberian again, even though we needed that permission. We lost it before, but I don't think the law was being respected anyways. So it make no use to have it and not have, because it was there. You got Ellen ran for president, we are, and everybody else, all the other people, they were going and doing whatever they want to do. So the law was not really. It was, that's the thing about Liberia. We have laws in the country, but
Thank you.
the
Thank you, Amy.
implementation is not something. So doing this one and saying that no elected offices, I don't agree with that. But like Cindy said, it should be maybe the vice president and the president. They should limit it to that, but not senators and representatives and stuff. I think no, that's wrong.
Thank
Some
you.
of the
Amy,
most
I got a
corrupt,
question for
some
you.
of the
Amy,
most corrupt,
No, but we're
some
going
of
to
the
the
most
line now.
corrupt government officials
No,
in
man,
Liberia
you asked me if I want
are
to talk.
people that never left Liberia.
but let
Okay,
me
Yes.
thank
ask
you.
Amy and
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Cindy.
Thank you.
Let me
Thank you.
ask Amy,
No,
Cindy.
no, guys. I'll
I
mute
would
everyone.
disagree
Let me
with
get
Cindy.
Raymond question,
Why you say that?
Let's
Nancy.
have Mobile to talk. Mobile, please go ahead. Then we'll go to the lines.
For me, that law, right? I would go with my brother Josh, and I ain't feel that law because, my man, your home like your home, man. Let me
Okay,
tell man. Let me come here. Although no, and
Let me
listen
ask
to
one
me, oh, they
question.
passed the
No,
law, right?
I'm going to ask a question that'll go across the.
No, but
I don't
listen,
know
now they
if I should
passed the
ask
law.
this
I
question.
said, the law,
No, I want to
the
ask
law
the
has been
citizenship
passed, right?
question.
I'm not discussing that one. Well, yeah, but the law itself, right? I'm against it because, my man,
Okay.
look, for me, my town, where I come from and call my town, I speak my vernacular. So why would I go
How
somewhere
you
that,
told me I'm not part of Marshall
yeah,
territory? Is that wrong with
because
you?
I obtain or American passport
Ah,
for
So,
what?
for example,
So, no,
Amy is an American
Nelson,
citizen.
just give me
For example,
ability to ask this
so
question. Make it
Amy,
1 minute.
I didn't expect anything other than what
I
Amy
support the
told us.
law.
For
I'm not lying. I
example,
support it.
because
I'm a Liberian, my man. You call my blood, I'm a
okay,
Liberian. My
guys,
mom, my
let's
pa,
go to the
everybody are
line.
Liberian.
Let's
So
go
So,
to
what
the
you
Nelson,
line.
let
saying?
me
Your
ask
view?
you a question to my colleagues who support against the law.
No, Raymond, we're not coming start new show.
No,
We're
no,
going.
just a question. They could just take a few seconds, right?
No, but
Or it could be on
Raymond,
their conscience.
okay,
Or it could.
we'll come back. We'll come back. We'll close with
Close with your
everybody.
question.
But
Everybody will
why I
close.
can't ask a question, then we close with it.
No,
Okay,
close with your question, then we answer
ask
it
the
with our
question, then
close.
we'll close with it.
So I want to ask questions. People who
Mm,
make law for a country,
mm,
who has the ability to sign concessions, who got the ability to shift the narrative of the country and the budget,
yeah.
but as citizens of other countries and their loyalty could be to another country. Is that as simple as ABC? In the trend of Liberia, there were many government officials who did not invest in Liberia but had property other places. Current ministers have their
Thank you.
children and
Thank you,
wives
Raymond.
living
So
outside the
where were
country,
we now? Like
and
that property in Liberia?
their investment is
No, that
outside
come
the
to that
country.
now.
When we consider that, we
My
shouldn't
man,
do nothing to remedy
I
it.
hope Pandora box even open.
so
Thank
what I
you.
would say to them,
Okay. So let's go to the lines. Let's
We
take our
look
let's
this
take our
generation, right?
pause. Then we're
This
gonna come
generation,
back and
this generation
okay.
with
investing
that question.
massively in Liberia.
Hello, your
The
live, your name,
investment
and
that
where
in
you're calling
generation
from.
making is too
Let
much.
mobile, the line is
Right,
open.
in your closing.
From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Let's hear your take on the discussion.
Actually, this law it was not in effect during the Ellen Johnson time. A plot of Minister Donzo. They did it to Donzo. Donzo had to go to court in Liberia right there and denounce his American citizenship before becoming Minister of Public Works. It happened. They told him to go deny his American citizenship before he became Minister of Public Works. It happened during Donzo time. You can remember the Minister Donzo. Then
Public
this
Works
law
Minister, Minister Donzo.
the sorrowful part of this law is one, a Ghanaian can get more privilege than a native born Liberian.
How?
Both of your dual
How?
citizen. When both of your dual citizen, a Ghanaian can look at one Bodiki. One Bodiki serving certain position that American Liberian cannot serve in that position.
Thank you.
And when it came to Franchi Kofa, some people say, why is it now? Why is it now? One Bodiki happened to one Bodiki. When certain position came out, the Liberian person said, no, one Bodiki can go as election commissioner. Now, how they dig behind his secret?
Thank you, sir. Let's go you
until they follow you are foreigner.
Thank you.
But the only problem about the law is all Liberians. They say if I were in there to make another law, we're doing the way that all American or all dual citizens will sign contract with between that country and Liberia. In case you do any wrong thing, we'll prosecute you in Liberia.
Thank you for your contribution, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person. Let's take 0555101075 is of course a number you can call, and then the WhatsApp line is being there. We're gonna take 5 calls and then we wrap up. Hello, you're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Please go ahead quickly. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Aaron Kimeko.
Go ahead, Aaron. Let's hear you.
To those who say they're against the law, why is the defense minister for Liberia going to fight me? Which one country you protect? Or when you chief of staff,
okay,
you're going to fight Africa?
My man, why you just bring fighting Benin over?
Nobody fighting.
Nobody fighting. Why you can't sell an example on good thing you go to?
How many war Liberia fought?
It doesn't mean that we'll never fight a war, so we prepare before
hello,
we fight
you're
a war.
live. Your name and where you call from? You're live. Let's hear you.
My name is Jason. Please don't cut me off.
No, I'm not cutting you off.
Good afternoon. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for the show. I love the topic tonight. It's a spotlight. The laws was passed in the House of Representatives. Who put the law on the floor was Akara Gray. Akara Gray, the one that crafted that law and put it on the floor, and everybody in there, the representatives in there, sign on it. They read about it. They sign on it. They send it to the Senate. The Senate review it. Darren Delon was on the committee. He modified some of it, and then they passed it. The president signed it for it to be passed into law. So now, if Nati sat there himself, he know that he's a lawyer, and he signed that document that trapped him down today. His time is already over. He's elected, so it's another different term.
A lot of people see this as a witch hunt.
A
lot of people see this as a witch hunt. What do you make of it?
No, it's not a witch hunt. What sign it? They don't want to put it on the floor.
It is a witch hunt.
They don't want to agree upon it.
Yes.
There are a lot of representatives in there that are citizens for a lot of countries that some of us represented in there that are citizens for another country, and they signed it. So let me tell you, after this case, another one coming, because all those that are defeated, they're going to send those other ones to court that this law apply to them.
Thank you very much.
You're going to see. That's uncle for you.
Yeah, but your time is up. Thank you. Okay, so we'll take the last call and then, we wrap it up.
Maggie sister.
That's the Maggie pattern right there.
Yeah.
I'm just coming. You know.
Hello,
let's take the final call here. Hello.
Hello, this is Steve Vani Kamara from Bomi County.
Okay, go ahead from Bomi.
All of what they are saying, the doing we are not interested in. Our main concern is the country will move forward. The CDC is starting to come back to press down the government to make sure that will rise up against the house.
Okay.
We only want peace in this country and let the country move forward. We don't want to go only as a speaker to suppress Joseph Barker.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So we're going to do our closing now because we're out of time. Raymond, just take your 1 minute quickly, and I have the timer set because we are shutting down now. So you can just take your 1 minute quickly, Raymond.
So Liberians, for the country to function properly, we have to have good laws in place that can safeguard things. This law is a good law because it safeguards things. You see, when you put in laws in place, you're looking for the bad apple who could abuse that law and use it in a negative way. It's not for the good people who might have good motives. But if you leave everything open, the bad person will jump among the good people and will do a bad thing, and the country will not recover from it. Okay. Our country have suffered from people taking our country as a farm and taking other places as a home. A lot of Liberians in America prefer to live in America, and go and harvest from Liberia. So for me, this law does not only apply to American Liberians. It applies
Okay.
to other Liberians who are nationality or even other African country. You can't be Ghanaian and a Liberian and do it. So no.
Thank you.
You got to hold
Thank you.
loyalty to one country and let us do it. It's his best interest of our country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's hear you quickly, Cindy.
Look, relating to, regarding this law, right, and the lawsuit filed by the United Party, I think this would test the law as well, and I think that's one thing I want to see. Let the law be tested. Let the Supreme Court come into place and tell us exactly, let them interpret the law. Let them tell us where it should go. If it's in favor of Mr. Funati Kopa, and indeed if he's a U.S. citizen and allowed to take this position, that gives some of us here in the diaspora the chance now to go back home and also fight for our rights.
Thank you.
That 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have
to fight for our rights. But if it's interpreted
right now.
and it's against him and it's in favor of the United Party, then that's the law. But I agree with Josh. I was born in Doyi Town. There is no document given to me that will take away my love for Doyi Town, my love for Grand Gide, and my love for Liberia.
Thank you.
We shouldn't be limited to what
Thank you, sir.
we're entitled to in our country as well.
Thank you.
A few seconds. You just say thank you, but thank you.
Yeah, seconds are over. Francis, let's hear your closing quickly.
Bad timekeeper.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But I got a question. You got to be elected official to love Doyi Town or do development in Doyi Town?
I have the biggest oil palm in Doyi Town. I love Doyi Town very much.
Yeah, so you don't have to be a lawmaker. You can still do that.
Please go ahead, Francis.
He should not have limited right. That's the thing. That's all he wants. Not
Francis,
that he's going to pursue it, but he
Right
doesn't
now,
want limited
always
right.
limited. There are Liberian citizens who can run to be president, and they're not dual citizen. They're Liberian citizen because they don't have the
Raymond, you're interrupting the show, sir. Okay.
All right. Yeah, folks, for me, thanks to Mr. Dixon, Colonel Dixon, for coming on and talking to us about the fire safety. For me, I always go to the numbers. We waste money. My brother George told me our budget is 600 million. Yes, that's a small budget. But if you pay people $15,000, $20,000 a month, including incentives, that's wasteful spending. So people dying for lack of services, but you get somebody 15 million. I think 2 months ago when I came on the show, I even talked about a used fire truck. You get it for about $30,000-$40,000. And Mr. Disney just came on here and confirmed what I said a couple months ago. So we need to, our people just waste money. But the lawmakers are supposed to craft these laws for better things to happen for us. They are greedy. So they'll never pass a bill to reduce their salaries. So people, we gotta be careful. Look at me. I stopped with 57 seconds.
Thank you. You gotta reserve. You gotta reserve.
You used it last time.
Let's hear from George. George, go ahead. Let's hear you do your closing.
Look, I think it was a really wonderful show. Being back here after the last show I was on, I think is encouraging. What I want to say is that my brother Francis here, who said our people like to waste money. I think what Waka is doing now to give 5,000 to every lawmaker, the 72 of them is waste of money because these people are not coming, and you want to give these people this money for no reason. It doesn't make any sense why he's giving them 5,000 when you say so the people cannot come here, so I give you 5,000. What the 5,000 is for, we don't know. That was robbery, and I think this is what's destroying Liberia because that $360,000 could buy more than maybe 10 fire trucks, like my brother Francis already said. We need these things, but all of our leaders are wasteful. You show me the time here, my man. They are wasteful, and they are the one causing all the problem that we have. But look, it is what it is. So good night. Have a wonderful day, guys. God bless Liberia.
George, we are called the video to kill.
Let's hear from you.
From your tour, George, we are then order then I get dual citizenship and then rig our country.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I disagree.
I'm blaming you sitting here in America.
I think that the law, there should be a law, but I think they went too far with it because for me, I don't want to hold government office, so it doesn't bother me much. But other people that have the ambition for that, I don't think they should limit them that far. and they should give her a little slacks. And like George and myself already said, there's no place like home. I mean, it's only take foolish people to be like, oh, why I'm going to do that country? Why they, I think they have it right here. They call you an African. I don't care how long you've been here. You're an African. So you sitting here and think, "Well, I'm going to do that, bro." Oh, that's a foolishness. So I can never love nowhere. But I can be as little as I was. I still love my territory, even though I haven't been there before. That's your problem to think about. But I love it, and I'm going back home to stay, to live, and die when I'm 100 and something years old. So.
Thank you.
Nowhere like home, and I love Liberia. I would not love America more than Liberia. And I don't think
Thank you.
Need to be a Liberian.
Moba, take 30 seconds, Moba. You are co-moderator on the show. Just take us home. 30 seconds. I'm setting your timer now.
You know, I'll just start with where my brother Raymond stop. He said because a lot of lawmakers are taking money from Liberia, coming out of, probably in America, buying houses. This generation, right? All the people that are in the diaspora, this generation are doing well than the past generation that were out of the country. This generation now, if you come, everybody here, they get something back home. And guess what? They're helping. Every time they take pay, they help people. It's not about we going there taking money to bring it here. For what? I take money to carry that. I don't take money from water to bring it here. To do what? You understand? So that identical one you said about people taking money from water, buying houses here, doing this there, or using it there, I think that can justify the identical law. That put a lot of justification on one side. You understand? So I think the people got to revisit that law.
No, Tim was second. That's not fair.
Thank you a lot.
People put a law that because Joe, we are a woman buy house in Jamaica, so now it's affecting us.
Samuel Tue. Nana George, we are even before them, the Congo people.
Well,
all the Congo boys, them, the property they own in America, yeah, they never own it in Liberia.
Territorial. Be careful.
All the Congo people that were in government that serve.
The only reason the people in America, all the Congo people, the reason they fought George Weah because
the past generation, right? But this generation is different.
Because George Weah taking all the horses, all the bring money, George Weah taking it from them because we were building our own.
But I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight.
The country has been the worst for our country.
I want to say
but
thanks
man,
to
we contributed massively to the economies in our country.
We look forward to having.
That's true, but we still abusing it
tomorrow.
Thank God there is no Congo in country. We are all Liberians there.
Yeah, Marshall territory. he know Congo.
Oh, yeah, I'm really in Marshall territory.
But I want to say thanks to everyone, and we look forward to having a great show tomorrow. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you.
Wow, you aiming me while I go there to
thank
continue
you,
my building.
Call me when you get there, Francis. Call me.
I see you. Bye bye.
Good night, folks.
See you later, bro.
All right, folks, that's how I would like to join on the curtains on this edition of the Late Night Show. Thanks to all of you out there who have been following. The invitation is yours to join us tomorrow. They will come your way again. I'm Nelson Colette. Thanks to the entire team. And bye-bye for now.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charging.